My shit break again. Hello? Hello? There we go. I don't know if that's like breaking or what. I don't know what that was. But like the slamp's just not needed. It's not warranted. Like they end up hitting with the Daredevil ult, and then you're forced to play for a copy in the situation. And like yeah, they use double, but like it's just not needed. Do a rush on a condition that's like really not needed. Honestly, and like the only reason that like Luna ult ends up coming out on the copy is just because we use lamps in an area that we just don't need to. Um, I don't like this posturing from backline. Look at all this downtime. Like, well, if we want to set up for like better pivot, like we can easily just like be sitting more forward with DD and getting better information on like the rotate. We can always concede space, and like you can either posture like your supports like forward inside here if you plan to hit here, but if you want to pivot more and like really be able to adjust, then like you can just have like Emma buffer here to start. Here Angela can do her basic scouting, and then you can just like literally posture supports down main. So if you want to hit up here, then your supports can just hit an easy lift, and it's a direct line for your front line to buffer your support lineup. But you hit early with like a DD, and you can like enter in with like a clap. You still have like good engagements with the um the lamp, and also too because like you're able to shove them faster as like a full team with like clap. You're doing dishing like damage towards shielding, which like in this situation they're like running mag and Angela, which is like really the mag thing is the only thing that's really gonna like, kind of cuck you on the close engage. Like you'd be forcing bubble, you're forcing an ally, you're potentially pulling lamp, your starlers like shifting like crazy inside there. You play with the lamp and then just fighting into like Emma, who's just sitting there, just like slapping people into walls off cooldown is just like it's really just shit for them to fight into, and it's just terrible posturing here. Yeah. So, like, it's just such a low value DD alt that just minimally gets no value. Like if you're looking at this and you're like tic-tac-toeing out in like a lane concept, like we know this is where you guys want to kill, but like look where your whole team's playing and it's just not playing for this. Very, very passive play, and just kind of letting them get like once they, force out that initial play. Like, look at this. They're just taking their full advantage of tempo on you. Yeah. So, honestly, just like a simple, like, more forward posture, like, will just help so much. Um, and like, if you want to posture this way, like, more so, get your back line set up here, or like, they can just even default up here. If you think this is where the rotation is going to happen, then that's fine. If they rotate all the way out this way, or they rotate inside, then you just play to exploit space. You don't take engages necessarily into here, but you can exploit the space. So if every time that their tank line walks up, you can be like more threatening to their back line without like making actual advancements in. As long as you're just carrying the Angela scoop, um, you're fine because you can just force her to mark her, and you spam her down. She can't really do much, and you can kind of like threaten the mag a little bit more. Do the same thing that we talked about. You can play for like you can like Emma grab and like get a bubble, and then like DD pull afterwards. You can DD pull initially. I think DD pulling, in the neutral is going to be a lot better, and then you can like kind of Emma afterwards and like kick him farther into your team to like really secure kills, especially with like shield off. But Yeah, this is pretty decisive. Okay. Take a look here a little bit more at the comp. It's still saying the same from like what Rad is playing. The My biggest thing would be going into this is like you can play easily like super safe back here as like your strong side, and like you can send your weak side off onto here. If they decide to drop, then just let them drop and play the point unlock and walk forward to abuse this ground a lot more. Your weak side can keep pushing this and maintain like an angle. Um if they push this out, then like you can easily just play to flip, break this. You can try to buffer as much as you can, but you just play to flip map and throw that your back line back here into the bunker. Yeah, honestly, just like slow, just slow.
Looks like the mission area is yours to capture now.
Like the argument could be made that if you're gonna play a lot more for like Starlord ult because you're like not you were what 86 going into this, you could make the argument that just a default rotation here and just taking a simple bunker with strong side, weak side like this, forcing a point drop, and then having your Starlord exploit more space and then pop a like pretty aggressive ult behind to get vision aggro to turn, gives you like a free walk here and like splits resource and will force really fast. Like you'll force out a guaranteed lamp. Engine's gonna be forced to either like turn and mark, or like they're gonna have to run in and like capitalize. But again, they're still opening up their backside. Um, is there any other like way you could approach this? Mm, yeah, no, they just hit your tail really, really fast, really hard. There's not like a really big plan going out into like the default rotation of what you're doing on the call coming from Rad. Hmm. Just stay speeding and engage faster than like what they are actually at. Again, like this is all about like setting yourself up in ways that you have advantages. Like it's so easy that like if they get, you can just opt to like rotate here and like say, oh hey, we're rotating here. Like they'll give space naturally to like change their positions for the rotate, and you can even double back. Like they'll give you a free push down main if they compensate for the rotate.
I am ready to put up.
Which means like again, you can send your star off to this side with like plus alt. Like it's just so broken, but it's just very. You're playing very brawly for a comp that like doesn't need to. Now you're exploiting the space that they're opening up, but again, like you have Starlord ult that you want to play for, and like you're sending your Starlord inside your team. Mm. Like, it's just so easy for them to abuse your DD because when you're setting your DD on like a long flank like this, and he's not pinging this DD over here or this BD, whatever you want to call it. And like their DD gets to run for free like this when you're opting to take this flank. All they're doing is saying, "Hey guys, we only see like one DPS in their core. Like their Daredevil's just like playing the flank. Guys, just bunker." And like, look, they hit a bunker here, and it's just gonna instantly kill Stace, or that's just not gonna get value. And because you guys are forcing like trying to like build angles on them and giving up your back line, like their DD just gets a free access. Like Angela comes in and helps clean up. Like it's a good connection from them.
I'm ready to put on a show.
I wonder, was there DD? Is Nectar playing to mark their Star Alert on DD?
I am ready to put.
Compositionally, like I feel like they're getting IQ checked like a little bit. I don't understand why they're not forcing like Ange Rogue if they're struggling in this DD mirror, because like they can just get like a huge advantage by marking the Rogue, having the Rogue mark DD with DD, and she can like just bolster the engage a lot more. Hmm. Like here, you just kind of fucked, I think, compositionally, because now like you can't have the perfect comp. They can just immediately swap to just even like hard counters and play to just like deny you for fights. But even if they could take like 52 an alt charge, like change. I think here just makes it so much easier for them to catch anybody on your team. Iron Fist gets grounded, he just dies regardless if you parry. Same thing with like Daredevil. He's getting grounded, he's not gonna be able to dash. He can't, you know, he can't rope back. It's just really hard for your team to. Definitely an overcommit going into this. Like like Rad can wait for like these tanks to like make more of a step. Um, I'm sorry, Rad can like wait for these tanks to like make more of a step and then like subvert that and like hit with backline from different angles. But this is just, it's just sloppy. It's just forcing. Yeah, like main takeaway is like Rad doesn't really like have an idea of how they want to hit backline or like what they want to kill from how it seems. Like even from how they play, there's not a set like way they want to create a weakness going into it. Um, some cooldowns are just kind of just getting used willy nilly. causing like terrible alt cycling. Mm. Okay. Mm. Playing for the bunker comp. In my opinion, going into like this comp, especially like when you're playing against a werewolf, like you just need to be setting yourself up in positions that like either telegraph where the wolf is going to be coming from or make just their overall engagement they want to play for harder. There's no reason that like Rad cannot take a rotation through here and like get themselves propped up this way. Especially too, if you could just have like a Loki chilling up here, like an Adam. Look at their comp. Like who has guns on their team except for like Adam, Mantis, like but like you guys can live that. I don't know, you could have your Atom set up here. Like this is like already like decently placing your Atom like on off of this rotation alone for like good res value, right? So you guys could actually like pull in two fights coming from here. You can like int in, let's say, off of a res fight. Maybe you get two, they're TPing back. You guys get a nice res going off into it, so they TP into the res. They don't have a lot of things to respond back to it, especially like look at their comp. Um They definitely overstep here where they don't need to. Just break the side of the map, man. Like, it's just so... This seems so easy. Honestly. Just break this side of the map. Then just take an easy rotate up here. And prop yourselves as a team. Like, they're going to be locked into, like, more tight corridors. It gives you a lot more accessibility to do what you want to do. Especially, too, because, like, it lets you save Invis pull for, like, guaranteed Wolverine or to ensure that people really stay out of position. And then you can just kind of mog a cage, like, as need be.
We are undefeatable.
How do I make my Discord not come through? Hmm. What is this res? What the fuck was this? This is bewildering. But yeah, so it's just a reset back to the same aspect here. Like, especially now, like Galarian Venom Strange. You can abuse this way more now that you have. It's just.
By the eye of Agamotto.
They have to be playing the comp swap here after that. I would legitimately get off of this comp at this point. No, we're staying. That's wow.
We are undefeated. 60 seconds left.
Just Mantis and Venom. Like, this should be pretty easy to shut down. Just play for like the Manga Cage here, and then just burn. All that has to happen here is just literally play for the Manga Cage, let it burn, and then Invis needs to just jump back and play safe and just not die this entire fight. Let's see if Wonderland. Let's see how Wonderland approaches this.
A little help, please. Psionic surge. I got you covered.
I honestly think here, like, Mochimon's just trolling in the aspect of like, why is back fast just not inting on like, if they just went in with Mantis, like they build out a Wool Vault and like they will just hit with Venom and just hit an anti, and they should just theoretically either pull more ults out or just win this fight entirely, because Wonderland doesn't even play to actually like survive on the Invis ult. Like, this is just so punishable. Oops, sorry. Let me go back to like when this actually happened. So like one, I think this like Mantis ult is just trash. Oh, wait a minute. Is that what happened here? They took too long to die here. Second chances are over at this point. Takes too long to die. Yeah. I see. This fight happened a little bit different than I thought. I see. So unironically, like it feels like the only reason Rad ends up winning this fight is actually just because tanks like just don't get caught in res. I legitimately can't think of another way, because if Mochimon plays this right, initially there was only one tick taken, they just chill for a minute up here, and then they just take a hit with Invis, and they have Strange. I don't know if they were coming up on all. I don't believe they were, if I remember correctly. I believe it already got used. Yeah. There would have been a Strange all like going into if we did get the res, but like they would have burst out here with Mantis, and and then got a good engage with Venom. And if Brad kept using, like, they can just easily clean up.
Again!
You need to stop that vehicle in its tracks.
Is there a reason I won't let me go through the wall? There we go. Okay. So in my opinion, going through this, I think there's like three really good ways you can approach this. One, you need to get this building to rebuild. If you can get this building to rebuild, I think you get a really easy like bunker inside here. Um, you can play for a bunker in here, and you can take these fights almost like in steps where you can kind of just like chill in here as a team, um, while you pressure cart, and then you can go. You can play for your alt cycles, and then you can almost like move to this next one. And the beauty about this one is if you have forward positions on their re-engage, is that like you can play this bunker up here, and then you can transition this back to where you can even get like your back line back over here again, and then you can still like create this direct line as long as you're still finding a way to like mark this out, assuming that Adam or someone else is like keeping tabs on this. Um you could even have like your Emma come up here and just like hold pressure up here while your group plays main side. Um and just builds out support alt. Yeah, right here. This is my big thing about saying like playing to bunker inside for like these buildings, because it's just such direct access for like the Venom to like get a dive here, and like they get a swing in with it. Where even if like he engaged into here, at least you're forcing him into like tight room where he has to try to get out of like some of these areas to even hit like an easy swing to get out. Um, it's guaranteed a force on his E if you get a good stun, um, and like pull as well. You could just kill this Venom. Yeah, backline definitely gives themselves like does not position themselves in ways to build advantages for their team right now. Um,
Better stop that vehicle. There's still a chance to stop them. Only 60 seconds left.
I don't really like this too much. You only really pulled out like Mantis going into this. Does that stun hit anybody? Oh wow. Um, actually stops you guys for going with Mantis early. I think if you're sitting here and you're already going to be rezzing inside this room, I don't see a reason to why you need to int the way that we're inting into this fight. Like they pull Mantis, like why are we holding so close? Like Wolverine gets a free grab here and just kind of really forces you guys to like fight the way you're fighting. I mean, like you guys could have played to, what does Wolverine have passive here? I believe he does. Oh my god, I cannot. Yeah, Wolverine has passive. Like we could easily be playing to like get Wolverine passive out and like get like advantages built before this res goes through. Because really all you've pulled out is just Mantis ult and nothing else.
Only 60
Um
seconds left.
and no trades whatsoever. Like nothing here that built you a true advantage other than they used an alt, but they still hold an entire eco chain on you. on top of having a res.
We are undefeatable.
Yeah. Pretty pretty cut and dry for that.
Down to 30 seconds.
Someone told me that I talk too much, but they just don't like it when I open up. I be talking on my shit, cause I've had enough. So mysterious, I don't even talk at all. I said ocelot, the man
He's
with
stuck
the
in
big
the matrix.
dress. It was him all along with a plan. It wasn't me, now you can see. Axel's back and free. So shut your doors, coming through. He's heading up your
The final 10 seconds.
He's going red, he's going blue. His silo is
Yeah, and then this is just really hard because you're fighting upwards into this battle. It's so important that you guys save like invis alt going into this because you really need to find a way to like shut down on res, and there's invis alt. Was this warranted? Was this needed? You've already dropped March? Question mark? No, March is on the respawn.
A little help, please. Clear the way. Vortex field.
Born again!
No worries. I got
I think honestly, I think we just need to move into your team. If he ends up Venom alting, you just need to try and run away. Like, you have shield, obviously, to place yourself between him and the Venom. As long as you live, if one of your supports dies, I think it's okay. But if you don't have anything to match the invis on the res back, then it's just chalk, as they would say.
The current score is 0-1. All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
A threat against Krakoa is a threat against all mutants. We shall not abide. Ah, much better.
Hostile ahead.
Oh. So I am not a big proponent of like when you're playing like any triple support or just like comps and like support comps in general. I just don't really like the hard hold in this. This is just so just you're setting up for free damage, you're giving them a free walk in, you're not really denying space. Like they can just kind of exploit around. Like even tap here is just getting free poke into this. Like look at the ban list here. Like you could easily play for like Namor, Hela, team up. You don't even like really just like you can send your Hela off. Like your Hela can get like a decent flank. She can like slow walk on this angle. She could catch the Atom out, get a free kill here, and it's either gonna force the Atom to cancel res and just be on a stagger, so they have to just like wait longer for the catch back on the spawn, or he's gonna self res and then you can play for an easy catch again. The other thing too is like if Wolf wants to dash up here and try to get like a free access of like a walk this way, you get decent pokage on him with Hela. In combination with like a Namor turret from some or like Namor in general, just getting easy like pokes and like pulls out of Nectar's passive. But there's just like, it's just letting Mochimon just build for ults quite literally. There's the Invis alt. They played a cage. Like your Rocket alt burns here because they can burn for free. They can just play to get out. They're living. They're living. Yeah, you just don't have like real kill pressure. Like I don't think the Wolf Bucky comp is bad by any means, but the problem is like when you're building comps, like there's 2 to 3 things you need to be thinking about when you're building. You need to have like kill pressure. um flank pressure. Apologize, my bad writing. And then like main pressure. Um as long as you have two of these three things going into any fight, I apologize if that was loud. You should be fine. But like looking at the comp and how the Geo sets your comp up, you don't really have any flank pressure. You have like okay main pressure and kill pressure if you're playing off hooks. But because you're giving them so much space, you don't really have main pressure. You only have like kill pressure. And that's like getting punishments off like grabs, groundings, or like hooks. Which obviously like here you're not able to play for. They just get a free Atom build and they can just cycle a second fight onto first point on you guys, which just sets you guys up for like it's just a setup for failure. What are we going for in this? This just seems like, are we just ulting to live here? What's happening? At this point, like on this TP fight, you've already kind of in this recognition that you should just kind of know that you lose. I would just take the option of either like play for the close hold with the alt economy you have, or just stall out and if they invis alt, then like you know, if you have the opportunity to like shut down support alt like invis, then you can. But realistically, I just don't see it happening. This rocket placement, not the best. I would actually say like placing here if you want to play forward, is ultimately better. Or like even like up here because they have to actually swing to break that out. It gets better coverage for point, and lets you keep like main pressure down to like push this fight off. Like I'm genuinely surprised that like this ended up turning back over time. What happened here that allowed this turn back? They're getting good cap, good cap. And then hero play through with Strange. Stabilizing with Invis. And they're just opting to play out of it stable. This also too with like this rocket all, I don't like it as a match to the invis here. No one's caught in the invis. Like you guys can just play back and exploit some space here. Don't really need to match secondary support alt here. So you lose a lot of kill pressure here because like look at this. You're only playing like 1 DPS. You're playing off of March. Any good combo here with like Thing, Rocket, Thing, Strange, like March and Rocket. Should be able to help like establish some targets being kill caught into this, but But yeah, look at this. They're coming up onto like a Mantis alt with Wolf Bucky Mag. Last 30 seconds, and we're still like trying to battery for Rocket because we opted to match out Invis 2 fights prior. Ooh, that's not what you want to see. Very heavy overextend.
By the eye of Agamotto!
Help get that vehicle to its destination.
Yeah, there it is. So like just through even just consequence of overextending just gives them the free point win here because they only need that tick. You don't have a TP for recontest. Even if you did, I think you were so far on the back spawn that it just didn't matter.
The sorcerer
Oh, you were actually like close to it. If you just didn't walk up on that, you guys would have gotten another TP engage. Potentially gotten a full hold. Assuming again, in my opinion, if you don't like fuck up the support all rotation, like what happened in that one match, I really think that kind of set you back on the first point hold. Here, you guys just need to swing. Be more aggressive here. Batter your Sue and then just play the cage tanks here on point. If they match, they match. That's fine. You can at least like try to like hit a thing hit on their backline when that happens to happen. Maybe build time to like actually like kill one of the tanks, and then they match with like an invis because they're already down one. The disadvantage might give you some breathing room. You guys are also playing for like res. You have Rocket, who's I believe, which right now March should be getting res. Oh, was it Havoc that caught it? Okay. But yeah, like you need to force early. You need to find a way to force like the earlier fight up here, and try to play for the trade. That or you guys need to play farther back, but you can't like take this middle end of the fight because this is just if you lose here, this is checkmate. You either need to find a way to force up here and squeeze in an extra fight with TP, or opt to play farther back and get them the force. Problem is like your play, like look at what you're playing. You had a Bucky, but you're still playing Wolf, so your spam phase isn't like justified in a way that you can do that. Put the play back unless you're like your Wolf is like walking one of these angles to look for a grab and get a nice force. Um, I just don't see a realistic like turn back on that.
Final score: 2-1.
You're gonna bring me back to main menu. So lame. This is the map that Rad won, if I remember.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
What happened to Tekken here?
It seems we have company.
Just think. Yeah, that was wow. Even if he's getting rezzed here, I think honestly, like Tekken, all he just needs to do here is just hit backline. Just have a contest on the backline while we just try to burn out the tanks in front. Then if you get rezzed off that, you get rezzed off of it. It's fine, but I think to waste res like that just to not get a trade back is like. Hmm.
Better stop that music!
Did they really just pop amp just to break Storm and Storm alone? I'd make an argument that instead of like going right here, you could possibly try to get it a little bit more forward. That way it can like see around this corner a bit more with the rocket amp coming from Moshimon. Think if you know they're gonna play for a gambit match, your gambit, if you're gonna be also like committing like rogue, I don't think rogue front to backing to the backline really makes much sense when you can easily just play for like grabs on rogue as well as deny them from committing any ult on top of your backline when they rogue ult. I don't know if the drain outbeats gambit's pacing on rogue, but at least you have the potential of stopping the engage. And then you wouldn't be on such a back foot where you use so many alts into your own just to like be stabilizing. You would have been able to take like a way more aggressive invis alt afterwards and such. Yeah, this is just stabilize from Nectar, and then you guys want to go in with DD out here, which I don't think is like terrible, but they commit Gambit. And then look at this, look at this. So you guys have like an overchase into Gambit back here. You're not getting this kill. Not with him being in Gambit ult at the very least. I think the stabilization is just too much that you need at least one extra person or ensuring that like every shot's hitting. If you don't hit an anti on that either, I just don't think he's gonna die. Did we hit an anti on that? No, we didn't. So he's just not gonna die. I think our ult cycle. I think Rad's ult cycling is really poor here. It just like it's hard to. I don't think it's hard to track the cycling, but I think the cycling is a lot harder to deal with sometimes. Like when it's just coming out like that, it's eventually at to a point that it's just going to win
They hit a checkpoint.
because all it requires is one person holding their ult for the right condition. Which here like is just no support ult, and then Starlord just holds. You guys pop back and actually finally get a trade. I guess maybe not trade, but like, you guys should start opening up room by building mana advantages with the star ult. Cards like already auto. Like I just don't see a reason to be stacking two here in a situation like this when you guys could be like auto swinging this. You could be like building up for like a faster gambit. Try to like you don't even have to like necessarily like hit them. You can just play to take spam damage. Like, why is one? First off, why is Wonderland all the way up here? Why is Wonderland inting? Oh, here, like you guys just play forward and just build off Gambit and Battery and Kite over time. Like you could even start like your Gambit up here, and then you can keep like your Invis on like the side. That way, if like they try to like take a maybe let's say egregious walk towards cart, you can like push them back, and Invis can like then take a drop back, right? But your team can either choose to like come back up these stairs, and you guys can just kite out through here and default back this way, or like what you would call it, or like you can play to absorb the Gambit when they decide to take the Gambit engage, and you can just pop Invis all to play to like kill off Gambit. But here, Wonderland ends up just inting straight on the Invis into your team.
I'm 128.
Shout out the GOAT, 128.
Yo, what's up, that chick? Let me.
Yeah, let me see how this works. See how the knock What the flark is that? See. Trying to figure out how this works. The flark is going on right now. I need help. I don't know what the flark my Twitch is. You know. Hmm. That's what it is. Okay, okay, okay. Add account. Boom. um. And I gotta do all this shiz.
I tried Unstoppable scent boosters. Unstoppables is my laundry power up for 24-hour nonstop fresh.
This is All right, there you go. Wow. All right, is that it? W. Cool, we got that all figured out. Exactly what I wanted to see.
Yo, what's up, Toast Me? How you doing?
All right, so everything should be fixed now, theoretically. Hmm. All right, that should be all fixed up now. Cool. I'm not a big fan of this constant forcing of the star DD. I think on a map like this, definitely you guys had a lot more value from it going into it. But I think you guys would get so much more value if you just let March play the Phoenix. Even like the Hella. Like you guys have Hella Namor that you can really abuse, like going in the last one that we talked about. I don't think necessarily like it's the end all be all to like how these comps play, but I think there's a lot of times where some people just aren't getting marked in situations that you want them to be marked, and because you just don't have a character that can like really just like get free HP leads on the mark like Phoenix or Hella in the game, it's just putting you guys at a disadvantage.
Only 60 seconds left.
Hit y'all with a quick dog cam. But yeah, for the most part, it's just like the same kind of like things. Like where you just see a lot of the time you guys are like hitting a front to back and not exploiting space. Like in a situation like this, I think it's so great if you can just like have your Starler send off this way. He can even get up here. He can play his life relatively well going into it. You can just like build an advantage for your team to have some like freer walk down main, but instead you're opting to play inside team. And then you finally go for the side flank, they're already hitting your team. I think this is probably the best thing that happens in this situation is that you actually send it down for the invis here and get a really good shutdown on this. I think this map, you guys did a lot in terms of just abusing the advantages from what DD gives you.
You'll have to keep fighting until we have a winner. They've made it halfway. Stop them. Better stop that vehicle.
Good first tempo. What happens here that stops them from just ulting back with like a Gambit ult? I think there could have been an easy like shutdown here. Or they just not have Gambit ult. It looks like they might not have it in time. They're trying to battery. I see. They walk. Moshiman walked to. Oh my god, that was super loud. Devious hate watch? No, I'm not hate watching. I'm just looking over these and just kind of saying what I'm seeing and thinking. Just also like just other adjustments. Like this is terrible for Mochimon. Like Mochimon easily could have like had a good counter condition here for the Star Lord play. They could have gone back with their own Star Lord and Gambit play to your guys's. And like actually like went into your invis, forcing you guys to have like a huge overcommit into this to potentially just turn it back with like a thing play. But they just walk too far and they give you the opening to like actually surpass their tank line here and hit first that the battery doesn't even get to happen. You won them that fight, no troll. What do you mean? Are you just sitting in the VC screaming for them to go now? Are you ghosting for them? Why are you ghosting for them? You should let them figure it out on their own. But like no, that was a very good play to hit like the Star Lord ult fast. Like if they just played a little bit smarter and played to opt for like stopping the actual like cap rather than forcing the fight earlier, this would have been fine for Mochi. They would have just won this and held right here. I think passive, overly passive invis ult here. Big thing ult. No, a lot of this honestly, like for the attack, once you kind of got the ball rolling after the spawn camp, I think you guys' spawn break had a lot of issues. But like the tempo is just like fine when you're able to like set it down. But you have a like hard time dictating when tempo can be in or how tempo can be like in your control when you are either at like an eco disadvantage or just alter and play in general at times. You don't like take like real consideration to like how you can play for them. Here, honestly, like you guys could have hit harder. Why is Stace not taking an earlier setup here? You already have March like flaring and taking this angle, and you have good space exploit. Where you guys could have taken like a really easy hit to their back line and just gone like as a unit, and then but you just let them take the tempo on top of you and hit first with a cage on invis. Like we kill Gambit off, it's good. But like you could have definitely had momentum like continuously rolling here, but you get stopped on this track and you don't get to roll in with a possible time bank now. Are they actually just not gonna? There we go. I was gonna say they're not. They're just gonna keep letting cart roll. I am planning on looking at nightmares after this too, because I saw they lost to the beast, and I really want to watch that because that's just such a crazy turn of events for that team to, I feel like, win. All right, going into this, like, all you have to really, like, you're playing the build for, like, Invis, like, especially, too, here, if you know they're coming up on Gambit, like, try not to shoot as much. You don't really need to, like, hard force the walk out of this. Like, you could just play to battery the Invis and then just play to cage with, like, Maga and kind of cuck the Gambit here. If I was Mochimon, I think here, this is the point they need to be pressing Gambit ult. If Mochimon doesn't press Gambit ult here, they just lose this fight. And their team just doesn't int in on top of the invis ult. Like when they could easily just kill through. Did Tab ult with the Gambit or is that desync? Oh my god, Tab actually gets hard fucked by the building. That's insane. Not much. You just need to make the play like 5 seconds earlier. There's a lot of moments in these maps alone that I see where, how you say, like teams like have the opportunity to hit first, so they're just like waiting when they know when they should be knowing that they have an advantage or they have the window to go and hit first. Very, very scary. I just say like the only thing like with the like Gambit ults like coming out on this is like you guys are already like hitting the swing, which is good. Like this is clean, fluid motion. Um, but like you're already swinging and committing when you know they have invis here. Like they're gonna cage out. You're very, very close to just being fucked over by the invis ult to only like Gambit ulting your backline. Like this is very, very scary. as well too. Again, like it's just like this posturing aspect I just don't like. Like, why is Stay sitting down here? Like, I get that he understands that Daredevil's up here probably through wall hacks if we like peek over. Like, he can see that. But like, why are we not threatening like with position like and showing ourselves early as DD and saying, "Hey, I'm here," right? Like this is not necessarily something that's gonna like win you the fight, but the threat of the positioning alone knows that like they're looking to hit the back line. They're going to want to like possibly concede this early, especially if you're like looking to hit early with a gambit, because now they can't just play to cage tanks. Because if Invis wants to jump back and like live, well, Deity is gonna see him. He's gonna int on top of him with DD alt, shut it down, and then your gambit alt just still wins the fight. Um, yeah, I think this fight could have been done a lot cleaner. But overall, like this looks leagues better than the last two maps that we looked at. The
The current score is
how you say
2, 3.
the fundamental and the timing is like looking better, but this is like where it like really starts to kind of just I think there's a failure for this side to actually get marked off. You could still have Penny play to mark this and then like zip back in at the very least to be pulling some attention this way or to create some like how you say like pressure like they just can't be like obtaining a free walk here. This is just so bad, especially like for Moon Knight and Thing to just get up into this. If you guys are losing contest on this side though, you guys like as a team need to be better about getting the transition to like play this is like the next corner spot and then getting another transition here and then to ambulance. Um the argument could be made that you could skip this stall here and then just immediately transition to ambulance if the Moon Knight cleave is too much. Why is Wonderland inting here? Why are we inting on Invis like this? I think Thanos in these mirrors. I think Thing is just like overall good in general, like in the aspect of like Emma Thing, like especially if you're playing into like these more like hybridy comps. Like if you can get a grounding on Moon Knight, you get a grounding on Invis, or even just like on Gambit. Like these three characters instantly become easier to catch, assuming that you're able to get into spacing that you can catch them. Um, like, like especially now that like Mag and Emma, I think have kind of lost their Thanos state. How you say, I think Things kit is what more utilized now. The meta has like developed more. Is this fly needed? On.
Moon haunts you. A shortcut through space.
I think once you kind of like already stabilized and you force this bus, I think you should stay up here a little bit longer and like just keep the poke and like build faster towards your strange all. Because the biggest thing that's gonna be scary here is like you guys do not have anything to like truly shut down Gambit alt here, and if you can just like squeeze in more percents in, or just even like pressure them back so that their Gambit ult is going to be even farther back place, which gives you better kite time to like either move back to like next corner, or potentially just get um a better rocket placement. It's fine. If Mochimon just go like, but Mochimon should just go back here with a strange ult and, or not strange ult, sorry, a Gambit ult, and they would just win this fight. Could cancel. How does Mochimon actually just like fuck up this fight? This is such a winnable fight for them. Like they have good stable.
Needed that boost.
I see. We just hit the layup of a century here. Like honestly, like if Mochimon just moves forward with this Gambit ult through the Mag ult and either just plays to just try and hard charge it and get a block or break, I think it's fine. Low key, low key.
Get that vehicle moving again.
What I don't understand is why they're opting to run the strange per se over like Mag in this situation. Engage, we're looking for engage. I still think this is like really bad posture if you want to play for this cage. Like if you got like you guys could play more aggressive here and play to cage and have a penny mine set up inside your cage so that they're forced to be slowed inside like a mine setup. I think this is good buffering here that's happening, but like we're having a penny play up here and we're not like pressuring backside with Mag. I actually think like I remember I think I was watching this side of the map when this was going on. Like one of these guys is very killable if I remember. Yeah, like I think easily. Oh my god. You guys could have just like easy push this off if like someone was just helping like push extra damage this way, but there needs to be better buffering happening here with like the penny to force the backline back. They're just getting free sustain onto their tank line.
The vehicle reached a checkpoint. Keep up the momentum.
I understand that Wonderland is on the invis, but 9 deaths going into this map on invis is just like that's heinous. That should not be happening. And I had already like three of those deaths. Like it could be down to 6 right now because there's 3 deaths like specifically in this map where Wonderland is just blatant inting. fine stagger, getting like decent battery. No, like the biggest thing here again is just like you guys just need to like be worried about like the cage play and then like how Thing is gonna like just stop any tempo play that you want to go for.
Get that vehicle moving.
And because you know they want to play for like invis, like why even posture close when you can just be battering like Gambit alt over this time? Because like here now it happens like they hit the clobber. Um, decent shutdown on the invis, but like you're committing 3 ults to their 1. That's just so not great in the econ. Like this fight could have easily been changed if like you guys just played like a little bit back more. You could play to like batter your Gambit, try not to shoot as much. If they walk up, then you can like Thing charge past and you can just surpass their backline and force them to invis alt on top of their backline rather than like actually like forcing the engage like this. The reason like why I think this is just stronger in general is because if you can if you can just force it back here, then you guys can easily play for a kite back out, and then anybody that walks up, you can either just like grab with the DD pull and then force extra cooldowns, and then or just cage them. Um, and if they decide to match after that with anything else, like they use Thing, like you can return back with a Thing. Um, but you're going to be building up more time for you guys to build Gambit ult because you're just going to try to like bait them into this aspect of like, hey, tanks, 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 we're giving you a free walk down main. And then you just kind of surpass that. You hit back line, force them on the back foot. And you guys can like kind of like disengage. It's the same aspect of like when you guys were playing against Adam, where like you guys just don't think about you don't think about how like you can just like go longer on fights just for the overall win. Um, let's see here. Especially too, right? If you're giving them like such a free push down in, I'm gonna just like keep elaborating on this fight like a little bit more. I think there's like so many different ways you can approach this, in terms of like the way like if Stace wants to like Stace can be postured up here, like March can be here, and like yeah, they're gonna see like oh DD here, DD here. They're gonna spend time trying to force this DD away. You can batter Gambit off of DD for a little bit. DD is gonna get out. They're gonna try to work on marking out the Star Lord then, but by that time, while they're trying to move Star Lord off like center positioning here, you can just cage, or you can just hit them and force them to cage, and then cage with like better, with like a later cage and have a better match. Which also too, because by that factor, if they try to like look for like a star play in the meantime, you can at least like match the star play while getting like a nice like cage with invis. Um, it just makes your cycle go better. Again, I don't like this. You guys have like we're at 85% to a Gambit ult after 2 fights. And this guy's getting his Gambit ult when you guys were mirrored on ult charge. Like that's just not acceptable. And then also too, I brought up before, right? Like you guys banning the Phoenix? Yeah, you're banning the Phoenix, which like, this mirror is not hard to play if you just want to play the Phoenix Star mirror. It's very simple. Your Phoenix just plays the mark the Star Lord, and your Star Lord just looks to either get on top of the Phoenix or just hit backline. Um, So like when you see like the star alt come out and you guys don't have invis to play for a match, then you guys can just play back. You can have your Phoenix be tapping, hitting procs on the Starlord, and the Starlord sitting at like like just a constant like half or like 1 HP, which because he has to cross all this fucking open spacing, it's just it's so hard, and it makes it easier to shut down the alt without having to like return with like a mag alt. Or if you want to walk in on top of the star alt, you can walk with mag, and he's sitting at low that people can burn him, and then your mag can just use that to find another pick, and then it walks away with either like a 1-man or like a 2-man trade going into these fights, which would have turned greatly the outcome of this, where you could have actually been able to just shut down the Gambit alt. Um, but that obviously did not happen. So um, like this rotation's like cool and all, right? For like a default, when you're walking out. Personally, if you have the momentum and you're not gonna like end up stopping cart, I really just like pushing out here. I don't see the point of walking through like consolidated chokes that's gonna force you to play into like spam either way, when you could easily just walk here, get a direct line, and hit their back line, and their tank line's going to be forced to readjust, but you're going to gambit and go past them anyways. Like this is just such like, it's like more direct rotation to just take the simple sidestep this way. um which if your supports do get contested here, then like they just easily walk off this way anyways. So overall, like you guys have a good live here, decent cleanup. They don't get the TP if I remember correctly. No, they do not. Let me move to the next map and then we can look at Nightmare. Oh, wrong thing. This was a short map. Rhyme, do you want me to look at the draft phase on this or no? I don't know if you care about draft too much. I was just kind of looking at this for like my own like sake of just wanting to look. But if you have no opinion or just don't say anything, I'm just gonna go straight into the match. Again, you're just banning Phoenix in a draft. Like, if you're gonna be saving Starlord, you just cannot be banning out Phoenix and then like leaving Hella Namor free. Like, you're just setting up your Starlord for failure, because this is just gonna be such like heavy mark for your Starlord. Um, that like once they get position in, it's just not gonna be as like valuable. It's easier to quite literally just either ban both characters or to just play the Phoenix Star Mirror. And then I think personally, like this rotation, like I think if you're running Bucky Star, you're better off like going with the rotation up here. Um, especially like you have to worry about what's marking your star, and like this is going to be better off to getting you better access into getting your Star Lord off on this off flank, so that he can set up and hit the back line. You guys can go for like a fast hit after you like ground thing. I remember watching this like opening fight, and I think Backfast like kind of trolls a little bit here with like the Venom.
Looks like the mission area is yours to capture now.
Yeah, like from what I see, right? Like Nectar shouldn't be dying off on this side. Like this is just like poor life play from Nectar. But like you get this whole rotation going when you could have easily have just taken a fight on top of them with the fact that you're just gonna ground them, and like you're getting decent like cleave with Bucky bullets, because like they do have like some extent of like what is it, splash or whatever it may be. You're gonna get higher value out of like star E potentially with like actually getting kills. You get like decent hook value. You can like pull people back in. You're not giving them access to like free angles. Um, I think they just play this really poor and just give you it just in consequence gives you the point. But if they just played this slower and played to um like surpass back like here, if they just played this slower and just played to cage with invis here, I think they just win this fight because they're out tempoing you so hard into the invis mirror. Ugh. This setup was fine. My only grievance with this is you guys gave this angle up like way too early. Like you guys give it up here when you could have easily just forced them off and then potentially had an advantage to go even harder. But again, this like kind of stems back to like how you played first fight. You only have Loki ult. Hold on one second. What do you have? Oh, you have a toy. You're okay. Um. Hey, buddy. So you could have had a faster charge rate like on Starlet if you guys had like the better rotation going into this fight, being able to take early. You would have gotten like really good cleave and like build up with like invis going into this that you guys probably either would have been matched or maybe you had it because you shut down their invis per se. Um, and then like because you force this out, like you could actually just force an early fight. Like you could still even do so. Like you could just copy off invis and then just hit like an early fight into this. Your invis builds up again, and then you guys pop two invis to their one. And you just get a free burn on their gen anyways because you're gonna be invisible. Um, but like look at all the spacing that you give. And you put yourself back into like a disadvantaged fight when you could have easily just forced like a fight up here. Like you guys forget about like the staging process of like you can hold stage one up here and even like commit one or two like cooldown like ultimates in this fight to force out extra CDs or alt trades you generally wouldn't want to play for on this point and build yourself an advantage so you can end second phase like somewhere around in this area rather than just taking the whole fight back to point here. Um, because like, how are you gonna catch anything with Thing here? Because you can't realistically like ground anything. Um, which kind of just makes King a thing a useless character going into this because your effective range is just like almost not to zero. Like you're waiting for them to walk up rather than just saying like, oh hey, we can just like take the hit first. And because like your angles are like so limited on like how you can deny, like these two literally get a free walk up here to just hit your back line because you guys can't mark it. Like this comp really strives in open spacing. You just cannot let that happen. Like you need to take them in like tighter fights. Let's take a look at how like the re-engage happens here. All right. Um, first off, you're opening up your backside to easy flank. even March ends up missing it. Like, you guys just need to rotate this top side against like Hella Namor. Like, clear this out. You can escort. You can get your back line propped up here to start, and then kind of like move down, and then you guys can evolve and build the map out in the directions that you want to from this side. Um, rather than just because like here, like you see the Venom staging here for the hit on the back line. And yeah, back fast is just kind of like inted out dives in like the first like fight multiple times on Venom where they just get like no value. But this is very clear that when they can set up in any spacing they want and Venom's gonna hit your backside like this, like there's going to be follow up to some extent here.
Their team's capture progress has passed the halfway point.
They're just taking the fight up here. This is just good on them. Forcing staggers and like getting an actual like putting you into this situation that you have to play last fight, and you're kind of rushed in this too because you cannot let these fights go too long against them. Um, I don't know how I feel about the Bucky Hella match here when you could just still like play for the team up. Like, people were like maybe like bad teams were mind controlled in the beginning about this comp, but like this comp just from the fact that even if Namor or Hela hits them, that it just spawns turrets. Like, why are we not opting to do so? Especially too with like the reduced healing. If Gambit's not in the equation anyways, and you play a lot for Gambit anti heals to get kill catches, does the same thing. It's just bad alt cycling and just the not just bad alt cycling, I should say. Like, there's like some turns you guys definitely could have made with like better alt cycling and potentially won certain fights. Like, if you guys just played for like a better alt cycle up here, like it would have been like you guys just could have easily just won this point. But like the rotations just also are just not it. Right, do you want to like hop in a call so you can like kind of tell me like your guys' like thought process going into like any of these or what? Or if you have like questions? I'm just getting ego GG. But I really just skipped the second round on this. That's my bad. Oh yeah, that's right. You guys went for like this early TP play. I just don't think this was it. Um I guess you know they don't have any support ults, but you look at their comp. Like, does really taking a TP play early like on that do anything? You engage early with like Venom ult too, where all Hella has to do is bird. Namor just has to bubble. Invis jumps away. Rocket can just grab on a wall and then thrust off. Like, Emma has diamond form to live. Like, Venom has E. There's just not a lot of justification to like take an early fight like this. Yeah, you get Emma off in the beginning, but like look how fast they just turned this fight back in reality, because it's just more advantageous for them than for you to just kind of like int into them, because they have 2 DPS that can just move up vertically and just shoot to the other side and take all these different angles on you immediately in the mid fight when you have no angles whatsoever and no way to refute it. Because you guys have to remember, like, going into Dom, right? It's always easier for you guys to build a wrap than it is for you guys to like stop a wrap. If you guys wanted to initially like take a port onto them like in a more aggressive terms, and like maybe let's say like port up here and then like start to like take grounds this way, or even like get the port in here and then just kind of deny and build space around here and lock them in this tight room, build for a CD lead and then go off of that. Like that's a lot more justified than like going into this fight just dry like this with just Venom ult. Like there's just no real justification.
Capture the mission area.
Oh my god, Shime, I see you in here. How you doing? Been so long since never. I don't think we've actually ever interacted, just always competed in the same space. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, I just like if you guys are gonna go for something like this, I think if you want to, rotations that I think work really well going into this, like on the re-engage, easily is just like you can set yourself up to kind of like rotate out here and force through this as the core, and even try to push this out. You can even rotate down here and do the same. Um, but have your strong side to some degree try to accomplish some spacing into this room rather than opting for this fight. That way you can like side angle your Hella either off like where she can just kind of like walk down here, be a little bit more hidden, and then appear in the mid fight, or she can chill out here a little bit more and just play to live, and then catch someone on the backside here as well. I don't see like a real point to walking down here into just like hard spam when you could easily just like play to parallel a little bit more, because like that's all you really have to do is just like parallel, especially like in a comp like this. If you know like their weak side sitting here and this is like their strong side, then just like match your strong side off and then have your weak side chill, right? Their strong side will readjust and play to match, and then your weak side builds an angle in the mid fight. Like it's so easy to recognize like how you guys can always just maintain an angle at all times, like going into fights. Um, but you're just kind of stacking more so like it's an ARAM game, um, that they can just build and wrap around you like no tomorrow.
Your team's capture progress has passed the halfway point.
Ooh. So getting there, respawn back. I believe you guys hit teleporter here, or no? And then we're just kind of like opting for the same spam fight when we could just take like minimal spam damage going into this. I think all like top Hella players I see, by the way, will pretty much always just use Hella ult to live. So if they just absorb something like an Namor ult, like they're just going to play the Hella ult. It's almost never worthwhile to try to like kill Hella after like a bird usage. Um, if she's holding ult, like at least like in the fashion of like how you're doing right here. But again, there's just no real way that you guys can build advantages going into this. Like you're not I don't think it's necessarily the rotation itself, but I don't think your DPS are acknowledging to themselves the advantages of how they're trying to build for the team so you guys can do what you want to do. Because you guys are just getting into these areas where you're like doing the rotation and then you're like, okay guys, okay, good luck DPS. Get a pick. Get a miracle pick. But they're just not like hitting the flank. Like look at how much like Nectar is like moving around on you guys.
A little help, please. I am barely harmed.
Like he's opting to match like this side angle, like mark it out. Like I think this is probably like a better example. Like he's just getting the sit for free on like side angles. And this is just not something that is only applicable to the hold on like Dom or like on points of like convoy or the hybrid. It's true even like on the offense. Like necessarily does March need to match this? No, because we said your strong side could easily flush this out because she can't live against that. Um, in certain fights too, like March could easily just or like Stace could recognize like, oh shit, I can just take a better off angle and just win this fight because it's gonna force the Hella to match me. Um, and I have like maybe like a right hand peak advantage per se. Like here, like Hella's got a right hand peak advantage, but like your Hella doesn't. So you need to play to like flush this away. Otherwise, your Hella is just gonna be losing this duel. So what you can do is you can flush this out as like a strong side. Then your Hela can like walk really far on this angle, and she gets right hand peek advantage. She can like deny info. She can reappear. It's like she can like force things like lamp. She could force like the Namor bubble. She could force Hela to burn. Like maybe even like pop ult for herself, and then she can help burn through part of that time, and then go from there to play for like the normal matchup that you'd want to play for. I don't like the setup. Um, you can easily just have your Hela play here. Um, she doesn't have right hand peek advantage, but it's still like if you want to play for that, you could easily just start and just hide back here as Hela. Um, and then just up here when they start to rotate as like tanks, you could hit like a Namor team up while your Namor is sitting pressuring from main and like guarantee like a kill per se on like Rocket or Invis. But look at all the space that you're giving them. You're not taking the option of just saying like, oh wait, like their core like they're all walking this way. Like can we just like walk through here and try to hit like hit this Hela, get her to bird, like try to hit this invis, especially too because at this time like your Hela should be propped up here if we're playing for proper position.
You captured more than half of the mission area. Keep going.
But it just seems like you guys have like very minimal time playing against this Hela Namor, especially even playing it too. That it just shows from your scrims into here. This fight's over at this point. I'm gonna move to the Nightmare game. Oh, I really want to see the Nightmare game. Okay, this is a interesting matchup. MTR is playing a bunker style comp and then opts to not play Groot. Bans DD and still plays Rogue. Um, yeah. How does this one, if you guys are playing bunker, I don't see why we're opting to rotate up here when we could easily just play for the bunker style down in here. Um, we can easily get like a nice angle then here too with like um oh, you guys aren't playing Adam. I see. I just don't like this at all. Like I just think like you guys can play for the underside here. Like Nightmare just needs to play for the underside, and their Phoenix can try to like flare the side with like Mantis and just like maximize spam range. Um, build out alt, and then as they kind of like opt to try to take a more brawly stance on your team, like you guys have Mantis damage boost to push back some like aggression by getting an HP lead, especially with Phoenix too. Um, like the Loki rune should be giving you guys damage boost as well. Like you have a lot of ways to just kind of like live this brawl that like almost your Phoenix Mantis should be able to just side angle in my opinion. Should give you better access as well to how you say also just proc and pull wolf passive out more. But like Drill's just sitting down main and just doing damage. Like this does nothing for your team in reality. Like what are we like work a side angle here, take height, get side angle, pressure backline, find some way to pull CDs so that you guys can be getting advantages going into these dom fights so you can get a primary control of like the map and just kind of choke them out. Otherwise, you're just sitting here doing damage while they're stalling out point. Like they're getting god percent on this stall on a fight that like no one has clearly won. And they just go back in with Rogue and hit you. Like they Rogue copied, right? No, they. What did I hear? Oh, I heard the. Is that female Loki? Am I tweaking? No, okay, yeah, it is a female Loki voice line. I just thought it was Rogue. Yeah, and now this fight's just over. Because you just let them for free just get on top of you guys. I don't know if I find this as like the Beast playing this well, more so as you guys just playing this worse. I think their engage going into this like tight room was good on you guys, but I think you guys definitely could have played this neutral better just based off of how they're also playing this neutral. Like the only one that's hitting the side angle is their Thing and Wolf. If you guys just angle a little bit better here and then poke that away, then like what do they do? It's just so interesting to see like these. Like I know that probably these. I don't even know if like either of these teams are gonna stick around being rad or like MTR, but it's just so interesting to just like I don't know see how some like
Mission area. Keep going.
no, I'm trying not to be rude because like I think both Nightmare, Acad, and Radicad are filled with great players. They're all really great, but then like I see them get into these finals for MRC, and this is last season when I was with Rad, and this season too when I'm not. And both these teams, like they have great scrims, and they all play pretty well, and they load into these matches, and they just play the worst fundamentals I've ever seen. happening here? Why are we opting to match like thing down here? Like here, we can hear thing. We have scouting that people are on main. They're not really playing top side. Like why is like have Gene and Mantis flush out this side angle and build an advantage going from there. Like their backline's gonna be pressured, their tank line's gonna have to concede space off of it. Instead of just opting to take this fight here on top of the thing. Like, that angle alone should just force that thing back to where he's just not going to hit you guys with that ult anyways. Do we have lamp advantage? We do not. What do we lamp for? Why are we lamping? It's just Thing. Who is Thing going to kill here? And you place the clone after the Thing ult happened. It's not like your clone's stunned. I don't even know if the clones can be stunned. Just under assumption if they could. Like, yeah, it is. This one's stunned right here. So you already have enough healing output here. Like, you could have had a lamp advantage going to this fight, but then you just pop lamps just senselessly, and then you guys don't have the advantage into this fight. Oh my god. Okay. Did Sleep not catch that? That's unfortunate. So you guys opted to play Gambit ult. Didn't get anything out of it. They matched with Gambit, and then you guys hit a second Gambit ult here, and then you're going with the Rogue combo. Looks like it wins fight, but it's just sloppy. That green, actually, that's a fine green. Okay, so now that you guys like have like a positional like idea of like what you want to do here, you guys can just hit with a Mag Phoenix combo. I assume that's what you guys are gonna play for here. But in my opinion, like, why are we setting up here? Why are we setting up here? Like, you guys should just take this advantage. Like, walk up here, get up here. This is great because, like, it's height control. They have to use CDs if they want to match you, or they have to push through this tight room. If they push through this tight room, or they go this way, then you just get to surpass them and then hit their back line with the free Phoenix Mag combo and just win the fight. Gives you a bit of a, you know, some leeway that you can, like, battery out for another Gambit ult. Maybe you can get, like, a Mantis going. And just kind of, like, shut this, like, fight down, especially if they, like, play for, like, a copy Gambit ult. Like, you have such a great way to win this fight and shut it down. But you opt for like such passive control here.
The goddess is suffering.
And yeah, they just get to like play for a free hit. They get a wolf graph here. You're playing into like, and you're playing for a Mag Phoenix combo, but like, who are you hitting? You like, I'm not trying to be like mad or like flame to anybody that is watching this, like, that's on this team, but this is just terrible. Like, you could play for more proactive position. Like, so what if they out rotate you and they decide to go off this way? Well, that's like fine, because you guys can just go this way, and you can just catch someone with like a mag right click and hit them off because they're back, because they're probably going to try to rush for point side as far as possible. And even if they do drop, then you're just sitting here and they're in the wide open, and you just get a free fucking Mag Phoenix combo. This is just poor play, man. It makes me so upset to see this.
We'll have to keep fighting until we have a winner.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Okay, let's take a look here. Comp's not changing other than like picking up Emma over the Mag. See. Um let's see how rotation goes here. You guys don't really have anything then other than Gambit. And if you guys force a Gambit out here without like really justifying like a real combo, like this is gonna be like ideally you guys want to play slow here for Mantis, then like the first ult that comes out, you guys pop Mantis and then play for the kite so you have time to build for like Drill Master here to get Phoenix. You guys can actually like go back with Phoenix. If you guys end up having to copy and double Gambit ult here, this is just a bad fight. So you guys opt to hit Gambit, big Gambit here. Like, you have nothing to kill here. This is just a pointless Gambit ult. Just play. You guys should have just played back, kept it slow, and like built out for Mantis, and like hit a kite on Mantis. Because like you guys got so close to getting Mantis too. Like, wait, when did Mantis die? Like, actually, like 93%. But like, why am I stuck? There we go. But like, what's the point of this? Like, why? Yeah.
Mission area is yours. After now.
This could have been a one fight, but okay, pre-copy on the Gambit. We're walking, we're walking. Their Emma shutting down half of your Gambit ult because you guys used Gambit just to walk in, and now you have lost Gambit ult to hit a Phoenix combo. Like, what are we doing here? Why did you guys just not walk with the Mantis? Force them to like pop Phoenix, and they can like pop Gambit per se. You block off Phoenix with like Emma shield because like such consolidated corners, where you can just like kite it, and then you can just go back within your own combo. Yeah, like of course you're not gonna kill anything here. This is just such bad cycling. What are we doing? I'm sorry. I'm just like toxic at this point with how I'm talking about this.
You've captured more than half of the mission area. Keep going.
At this point, with the way that cycling has gone, I would acknowledge this as this would probably already be a one map from the beasts. Setting up for a wolf grab. Just bad commit from all of the beasts on their side here. And just like Spooky's like rushing too fast on the engage. This is not the time to Gambit ult. Like why? Like just save Gambit ult for PP. Yeah. Do I really have to just like back to main menu every single time to do this? Huh. Interesting. Mm, um, yo, Drill Master, I see you're in here. I don't know if you're actually like watching. What's the what's the reasoning that you guys are
Good
opting
boy.
for DD over the Star Lord here? Like I'm just like looking like I'm not really like trying to like be so serious about it, but I do see like legitimate things that just could be fixed. Like I said, I have no idea if MTR or like Radicat is gonna stick around as like a team. Um, I'm just kind of doing this because one, I'm testing the new mic that I got. And just I need to start getting into streaming again, and this was just the way that I do it. Um, I low key am kind of like a dick the way I speak or like make critiques on things, so I do apologize if I seem like I'm just like straight flaming. Um, but that's just I don't know, that's just how I speak. If you want to like I don't know, if you like legitimately care about like what I'm saying or you want like to ask questions or I have questions you want to answer, like I'm fine if you want to tap in or something. Like, I really don't care. I'm just kind of just doing this to do this. If that makes sense. Yeah. I just think like in this comp, like one, you have the Loki, you could abuse the Loki more. Same thing kind of like with Rad Acad, in my opinion, is I think like again, you could just like really easily just play for like position over here with like backline. Um and then just like let people walk up close to you from the beast and just play for hooks. Ah, I see. So it's just like Loki kind of just like troll looking at this is what you're saying. Like in the end, I was curious, I wanted to watch it, but like there's moments of brilliance, but like yeah, it happens. Was there like an actual decent match from the MRC on the winners bracket side that happened over this weekend or no? It was like just the Mochimon one, right? Mochimon versus not wait, what the fuck am I saying? Um Let me peep it real quick. It was Mutants versus Intergalactic, right? That was like the best one. Kim and Grid showed up late trying to lead team, but next game everyone just shut down again. Do you want me to look at the third map like just out of curiosity or showed the light? Third map was the only time. I could pull that one up then. Yeah, this looks like a lot that looks more correct because I was gonna say like I got so heated like when I watched like the first round of that Dom because I was like I know that Nightmare Tad like just not like they should not be showing like this. They're a better team than this. Like, I thought the fundamentals were just like super poor and just because even like without a coach, I feel like you guys had a pretty like decent understanding to like what you guys do or want to do. It's just you know fucking MRC man. Either teams boom or it's like the most insane upset you're gonna see of like all time.
You need to stop that vehicle in its tracks.
From what I've heard, so Drill Master different on your Sidra. Yeah. What's the point of Wolf Storm? Excessive, can you just hop in a call? I actually just like want to ask you questions about like this map if I'm gonna be looking at it anyways. I'm kind of curious to hear your input and like what's actually happening on that side. If you're down, let me know. If not, it's fine. I'm chill either way. I'll just ask. I can ask you through Twitch chat too. Okay, cool. Are you in the SDN, the Phoenix one? I think you are. Yeah, that's you. Here, I'm gonna shoot you a call right now. Yo, wait, hold up. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, cool. What? What's with the Wolf Storm? Are you just playing to just like
Um,
grab people into
I think
damage boost and just shred with the damage boost? I'm assuming. Like that's.
yeah, it was more of like a Drill's comfort pick, whatever he wanted to go to. It was either Storm or Moon Knight
Mm-hmm.
because they were on the spawn hold obviously, so we can break it.
Yeah.
I think the Storm, honestly, because we mainly off spawn holds, we just play off
Good
the
boy.
grabs. It's more consistent when Gambit's in the game, so
Mm-hmm.
I think the Storm boost is just better to insta kill the grab.
Okay. Um. The what call it? Is Emma banned on this time around? Do you guys not like running the Emma like in the spawn break? Like especially if you're gonna be playing for the wolf grab anyways. Do you guys not like double grab, or do you just think the wall mag combo is just stronger? 'Cause I feel like you
Um,
could drop
I
either like Emma, like you could drop the mag easy for like Emma and just play for like double grabs with like the wall off on Groot. I feel like your spawn break is faster, no?
yeah, it definitely would be, but I think Spooky just he's not really an Emma guy. He doesn't like the Emma character, so.
Hmm.
I mean, last season we permabanned it first, like every single time because we
Yeah,
just didn't like
I
having it.
remember like have like at like what we scrimmed you like fucking 2-3 times a week. So
Yeah, we
like
just permabanned it.
yeah. No, that makes sense. I like that's so
I think
unfortunate. That's
more
like
of
what happened for you guys for MRC though.
yeah, I think this game especially because they were just off two get like
Two
straight
two wins.
destroys. Like my team was just so mental chalked. So I came in and tried my hardest to like IGL us and
Mhm.
I
And
was
especially
screaming.
too, like when you're going into like a best of 5 in situations like this, when you have to complete the reverse sweep, you're then constantly fighting an uphill battle because you're going constantly into the beast map pick. So
Yeah,
it's such a hard battle to win, and I can completely understand like when mental kind of chalks at that point, especially if you were going into maps that you guys felt confident on to only just drop them.
yeah. I mean, like I don't know. I think the team just kind of exploded like
Hmm.
recently. But because last time against Shiki when we were down 2-0, like the mental was still up and we made that reverse sweep because our mental was up. But I mean, it was so bad.
Hmm. Yeah, like
So
the
we just had
beast
everyone
just
on their
kind of
comfort picks.
yeah, and the beast just kind of has like a bad like triple hold here, like in my opinion. Um, did you guys like you guys were smart enough to ban out Loki, so like they really can't play the underside play with the Loki like too hard. But I think even with like Gambit, they can just still play here because every single time the Atom dies, like you could just fly up into this room and just play for res every single time, especially in combination of like Invis Shield. It's so hard to deal with, and the fact that they're running Cap 2 in the beginning, if they just build a cap ult, they can live the Storm Shark combo like super easy.
Yeah, I think
Why
the
there's so
early
many
picks
people
we
watching this? I low key feel like I'm being hate watched right now.
no, I think it's just interesting. See what actually happens. I don't know. I was watching Sambol and I saw he was co-streaming with you, so I tuned in. And you were watching these games. I was like, oh,
Yeah,
something to
because
watch.
they happened last week, and I was late to looking at them. And like I said, I have no idea if either of these acad teams are going to stick around. I heard Brad might not. Um, so which I think would be insane if Rad doesn't stick around, because if they took a map off Moshimon the way they did, if they just learned to do their fundamentals a little bit better, I think they're going to be like really formidable. But there's just so many like individual troll plays I'm seeing from Rad's side where like I think you guys aren't necessarily trolling individually, you're just trolling as like a team, you know?
Yeah, we didn't really have any guidance. Like, our IGL just stopped IGLing.
Now might be a good time to stop them.
Just kind of took a path for the worst.
Mm-hmm. Did you guys have favorite comps like going into this, or also like why is Bendy playing over you?
I took a break from the game
Okay.
because I was so burnt out. But Bendy got in, and I mean their favorite comps. They just default like Psy, Phoenix,
Hmm.
like hybrid dives and stuff. That's like what their top heroes are.
Yeah, and
I think the problem was their hero pool diversity was really like weak,
mhm.
so they couldn't play any like extravagant comps.
Like you guys have like such opposite problems to like what Rad had as problems. Where if you look at the Mochimon game, Rad is just failing like compositionally, even though they have a wide pool, they just are not like playing the like they're just banning shit that doesn't make sense. Um like what was it? Their Dom against Mochimon, they ban out like Phoenix, but they leave Hella Namor still in and they're opting to run like DD Star Lord, you know? It's like
Yeah.
it's just it's such a stark difference in like what these two teams struggle with. Like here, it's like why is Paradox like solo pushing car? I don't think it really matters like to get like extra distance if you guys can play your first stage up here and like pull the brunt of like CDs or trades and maybe even force them to like take a rotate this way so that you guys can either just hit them as a mass when they drop for the cart on the contest or um maybe you build out Storm Shark a little bit faster here and you can just go. Like I one thing I really like is fuck, you could even run like triple here. If you don't want to play the Wolf and you feel like Wolf is like kind of falling off here, you could unironically make this swap to like Mantis. And if you just leave a double stack damage boost on your Shark, like his healing plus like the piercing damage set, he's gonna be building Shark ult like double times as fast. Like he's sitting inside his Storm aura, and you're just cleaving so much HP into them that like, sure, they might build a Gambit ult fast, but you're gonna be building like Gambit and Storm combo, like not Gambit Storm combo, like Shark and Storm combo, or just Shark ult in general, so fucking fast that you can just pop Shark ult to like give extra sustain and then eat on top of your team, spit them out, and then just run and fuck off with like the Gambit team. Like, who cares if your Shark dies ultimately if like your your Mantis like damage boost with like other characters and combos with Storm. I think you can just like shut them down just as easily.
Yeah, I think we actually got a lot of success out of the Jeff NATO. And we talked about how we liked it, but yeah, I didn't think about that. I mean, the problem we struggled with is like we really didn't take fights early when we should have,
Mhm. Yeah,
or
like
like
this
we didn't
shoved
take
fight
free
here
space.
that I mentioned, right? Like that.
Yeah,
Like a really good example is like if you want to know areas of like fights you can take or just like fights in general is like if I asked you how many lanes are like in a map, how many lanes are you gonna tell me?
3.
3? Okay, so, like,
Yeah.
I really like to, like, kind of, like, switch that up a little bit more and just say there's 6 lanes because depending on where you engage, there's another 3 lanes, right? You just flip it 90
Hmm.
degrees. So you can almost just, like, tic-tac-toe the board out and say, like, "Okay, going into" we'll back it up and, like, say, back here. Um, when did you shove them earlier or later? Okay, you get the shove up here. So, in this situation if you just take this and you say, okay, we know that we have this lane here. Let's tic tac toe this out a little bit more. This should be the only spot you don't want to be, right? Like middle of the kill, like in the middle of the tic tac toe. Simple as that. Like you know that this is the kill box. It's okay for you to start the first stage here and like pull out as many CDs or like an alt out here if you can. Um, like if they potentially had a like invis and they want to cage you up here, then you guys just like prompt and say, okay, guys, if they invis alt, we're just gonna move back with the cage. Um, and we're gonna leave the invis alt and then go back with like X combo, right? Maybe that's like Jeff NATO. Um, so you could start the first stage and like build up and like really battery for this condition. You'd see like invis alt hypothetically if they had it. And you just take the simple kite back and that drop alt drops and they're just sitting in here and then you just run back into them with a simple front to back on the Jeff NATO like you would just 100% win this fight. And like the same concept should still apply because like look at what they're running and like their economy here. Like they only really have mag. You can still theoretically like accomplish the same thing off that same plan. But you can pretty much self-review a lot of your plans by just doing like 3 lane concepts. They're 6 lane concepts like Dark Zero. In an earlier time when I remember I trialed for like YFP, like I broke this down where you can almost just like look at this as like its own kill box. Like almost any single time that a team is rolling on this corner, you never want to like opt for the default here because you either need to have priority here or you need to have priority here. So if you want them to still hit out here, you just need to work these outside like lanes. Because like Dark Zero, when they would run like triple tank, going on the attack, and they'll run like Brute, Mag, and Strange, and their Strange will like get up here on this corner, and everyone will step into the spacing, and they'll just slam a Strange ult and wipe fight, and then just take the next fight like super far up. So like knowing where you can brute force like off that concept and like where you need to play staging process, I think that I think concept a lot. Like that concept alone, I think helps you kind of um understand that a little bit more because once you get into the habit of like visualizing that as a player and laying it down on the field, you kind of know immediately how your spacing should go. Um and it gives you a better idea of like, okay, what side of like what lane do you want to take to better corral them with the angles that you're looking to approach for in your neutral.
Hmm.
I don't know if that makes sense. If I said that confusingly, let me know. But
No, I think I understand it.
there's one interaction that I don't like completely understand with like the Jeff Nato versus like the Cap matchup because a lot of people were saying like, oh yeah, if you have Cap, you just like ult and you live the storm, the Jeff Nato. But I know it eats. Does it apply like Cap overhealth to everyone that's in the Jeff Nato? So it's fighting against that
Yeah,
overhealth?
it does,
Okay,
but
that's what I was
I think
thinking.
Squishy's like I think like 250s still die through.
Yeah, so as long as like if like you're playing the triple tank hold essentially, Bacon, and like you guys aren't letting like your Adam get caught by it, or as long as he has passive still for like res, after dying through it, like your tanks can just like live long enough for you to pop that and then play for an int fight afterwards and then go out with like support ult.
Now might be a good time to stop them. Better stop that vehicle.
Um Yeah, because like my biggest concern, at least like looking compositionally, like I don't think you guys are playing bad at all, like with this composition. But if you just fuck up your cycle once in this, your re-engage becomes so much harder.
Yeah, I think we just snowballed really hard.
Now, this went into overtime round, so it looks like it was just kind of snowballing on both ends. Yeah.
Yeah, our defense was also just we just never really got to fight properly.
Yo, why are we barking? What is your issue? Are you seeing stuff outside? Are you gonna lose window privileges? Do I need to shut them? No, we're done. Okay, sit down. Good boy.
Don't give them another inch. Or else.
Yeah, and this is just a brutal, like, shove here. Yeah, because, like, the Beasts just aren't really, like, playing to, I guess, like, shut it down, because,
0, 2,
like, Invis should just counter the Jeff Nato, like, super easy, but, like, they're just not playing to match it.
help get that.
Again, you guys are doing the same thing of, like, opting for the triple tank hold here. Is there a reason you guys aren't running Adam? Do you just not have an Adam player,
So we ran this before
or?
with
Oh, you're
the
running
triple with
solo
the
wolf. I
Wolverine.
see.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So our whole plan, I don't know really what happened. Like I think two people just insta die. We just like hard feed, but
You're
our whole
also
plan was
playing
just to
Wolf into
farm
like
Gambit.
Punisher Storm, where it just like fucks your passive hard, and then it's just
Yeah.
sustained pressure behind that. Um, like honestly, like you could do something like Chopper Mag does this sometimes on like spawn holds, where if they're not gonna run that like third support, they unironically just pick up Hawkeye and run 3 tanks.
Yeah, we tried that, but I haven't, like, played Hawkeye much before this, so
hmm
Bendy usually
Um,
played the Hawkeye when we ran that.
Yeah, the another factor though, like when you're doing that is like they play a lot more like sustain aspects. So like instead of like Rogue, they'll just play Thor because the Rune Awakening and the displacement from his just like shift in general now is just so strong that it just really fucks with people, so they can't like get on top of Hawkeye as much. Gives them a lot more room to work.
Yeah, our whole plan here was to just, like, perma live and just battery gambit over and over and over and over.
hmm
And then the wolf was, like, just there for, like, threat,
Yeah,
not
and
to
just like
actually do much, but
yeah,
just
you just
into
get, and if they overstep and you get a good punish, then like you just
yeah. And I think it actually worked decently well, but
mhm.
we didn't get our cycle, like, proper once we got the gambit out.
Yeah, because
'Cause,
like,
like, me just
what
sitting
are
on
you
card here, they
cycling
can't really do
for with
much.
Gambit Alt, you know? Like,
Yes.
like, that's, like, the hardest, like, factor of, like, when you're playing this Gambit in the situation. It's like, yeah, you have it, but it doesn't really cycle with much because like, you could pair, like, Rocket Amp really well with Venom, you can pair it really well with, like, Mag and, like, get really good fight finishes, but outside of, like, Gambit, like, you're not really gonna get a fight finish other than, like, Root and Venom, and I think into this comp, it's not consistent enough. Like, 8 times out of 10, like, people should be able to get away from it. Which again, that just goes back to, like, where I think, like, Thor is just so much stronger than, like, the Venom or the Rogue because, like, the grounding is so fucking broken. You just
Yeah,
run in, you
we've
go
been
ahead.
playing a lot of Thor, like, in these spawn holds.
Mhm.
Like, Fleeb usually goes on it, but I don't know. I think like we really just put everybody on the counter picks this game. After the 2 losses, I think everybody just wanted to play what they felt best.
Aw, you don't get shut down on Gambit, that's so unfortunate. Holy fucking layup from Drill Master, bro, from downtown.
Yeah, he's got the mag gene, I can tell you that.
But he doesn't as long as he doesn't have, like, the fucking strange virus that some DPS players have, bro. Where they walk down in strange and they just try to hydra on all everything.
Yeah, me and him are very weird. He plays Cap, like his best tank is Cap, and my best tank is Hulk, so it's like a really weird
Yeah, that's interesting.
situation. Yeah.
Like, there's so many comps that I've seen you guys play that I'm surprised you guys didn't even opt to, like, just fucking hard ban, like, all the tanks and then just play Hulk, Thor, like, Wolf, and just, like, run at them with Phoenix Wolf, just chucking Wolf in constant off cooldown.
Yeah, we really expanded. I think with Bendy being on, it kind of got hard to do a lot of the comps that we were like the whole Wolf people that it was just a comp that we ran. And it wasn't like people didn't think it was good, but it worked. So we
Like,
kind
I
of
remember when
expanded
we
over the
faced
years.
on Rad, we really liked it and just kind of went from there, and, like, we ran it more after after playing the mirror matchup on you guys.
Now, only 60 seconds left.
I mean, it's
Yeah,
not a bad like
I heard that
thing.
from Cessna Drill. Honestly, you guys might have just full held this and made this a really fast map if you just played Adam. Like, you guys are playing really well already for the hold that you're doing. Ooh, what is this rocket all?
I don't know. That happens a lot.
Like,
That
did
happens.
Month just possess Paradox here? What happened?
I
like grand final land month,
think
just like
Paradox might
alting
be
on
month
one
in a new
fight.
body. This happens actually a lot. It's like it was really infuriating.
Judge, jury, executioner!
Like especially when we're on defense. I don't like we go with ults when we don't need to at all, and it's just such a
Mhm.
troll.
Yeah, because I think if you guys just postured close here and just played for rocket alt on top of them when they punny alt, and you all just hard focus the punny, you just shit on them here. Then
Yeah,
you actually would have held. You could have held close for the strange port.
we called to like we pre-called to kite the punish roll because we knew it was coming, and we all did it. But I think we lost Fleeb, and then we didn't have anything to actually retake.
Judge,
Yeah, because like, what is it?
We wanted
If
to
you
kite
guys
inside and then go with Gambit.
like, look, Spooky's 91 off one slam. That if you guys just postured forward and just jumped on top of them, Spooky just all Venom ults on top of this with Rocket and all of you there, and you just win this fight. And you guys get a really close hold to stop the TP. Like that's that. Like you losing this fight is actually just a posture issue on top of like committing Rocket when you didn't need it. But like that's kind of out of your control there. Paradox just presses Q. Yeah, no, that hold went a lot better than I thought it was gonna go, to be honest. Like I'm seeing all this back and forth, and I thought that like I couldn't see the fucking checkpoint cap on it, so I was like,
Yeah,
damn,
and
this
right
is like a
after we
steamroll both
just
sides.
this always happens after first point. We either full hold the second point choke or we just get full snowball into the end.
So like here, you guys, this is actually really good. Like I could bring up for like both of you guys. Like one, as a team, from the Beast, like you guys need to stress breaking both of these. If even if the team, if they're not stressing to break these, I think even still, um, if you have, well, I guess you don't have alts to like really take a fight in this spacing, so it's fine that you're doing this rotation. But if you do have something that allows you to combo or play for like a pretty decent like set, like you guys should just take this rotation here, like, negate the spam like from pretty much all the way up to this corner, and then take the fight up here with a combo play. Um, so you can squeeze in that extra fight that happens up here with a recontest. Because theoretically, you should be able to like at least move them back. Like maybe they'll play for a Gambit alt. You guys can try to like hit with like a wolf software. It's just epic then. Um, but that way, like you at least limit some of the spam that's going to happen in this engage, so you guys can ensure that you get a pretty healthy like HP set going into this.
You're halfway there. Keep going.
Yeah, and like now you guys, because that was like a longer rotate, like well, not like really longer, but you guys like opt for this corner that you don't get the recontest here, do you? It looks like you do, but it's just
Don't turn back now.
not doing anything. Now here, if I was the beasts, because you guys are closing up so far on like an invis alt, like I would like this cart's gonna auto push. I don't care if the Star Lord's gonna be like capping cart here. If you guys can just like win and like wipe this with like an easy cage, get a man advantage, wipe this fight, and then put them all on back spawn so that they guarantee do not get a close hold. Um, because I think a smarter version of Nightmare would just opt to hold close here. Am I correct on that, Cessna?
Yeah, we would not rush the
Yeah.
we would
So
just
like,
give.
yeah, so you guys could like let this auto cap essentially, and then like take a forward fight on top of Nightmare. So like you have like not just this one, but your next fight won't happen till like way up here, which essentially puts like third point into like a real danger
Good
territory
boy.
where it's essentially like 2 fights only.
The vehicle reached a checkpoint. Keep up the momentum.
Like, you guys get an earlier contest here. I'm assuming this contest is actually going to happen on this corner here. Yeah, it looks like it. I think you're also like a little slow on the wolf too, like in this fight. Like even if we're gonna be like hitting a gambit ult, like I think you should just be getting up here and just like pathing in like as fast as you can to their back line. That way when gambit ult hits you, like you're double timed onto their back line, you can just slam a ult onto their back line, either preventing them from like matching your gambit, or sorry, not matching their gambit. Like gives you an instant like shutdown, like their invis in this situation. Um, and the ult trade is gonna be a lot shorter and gives you priority to like hold close up here than going into this with what do you call like either like Groot Rock combo or like Star Lord Mag. Is Paradox just alting for E2 or is he alting to live? Hold on. I see. Just needs to be a shorter like eat. And like if you're not in, like who's generally IGLing on this team again?
A Fleeb is usually like the fight planner and IGL.
Actually, this is like a probably like a really good question. Like, did you ever like with like let's say like Admiral Pete or um any other coaches, do you guys like talk much about like how you utilize like comm structure? Because like even if you didn't have like a coach, I think there's aspects of like comm structure that just makes teams kind of like naturally stronger in the fundamental. Um, like how like did you guys ever like really discuss that or like how you wanted it to go?
Pete has like a whole like not slideshow, but like a presentation on how it works. And we set it up like a long time ago when Pete was actually with us, and it worked really well for us.
What was
And
that
that's why in the
structure?
past we did. Um, I I can't remember. He had some big thing for it. Like
You
so, Fleeb is
you don't have
our
to like
initial.
say it like how Pete does, but like you can say it in whatever your terms are.
So we had our. It goes from like the actual comm structure of during like the fights and after the fights and all that,
Hmm.
or like how like who's calming. Which one are you talking about?
Just go through your like structure as like a whole.
So we had Fleeb as like target or fight planner and IGL mainly, and then we had Paradox as like the co IGL to call kites and where we move. If like Fleeb will initiate the fight with us, like he'll like initiate the initial fight plan, where we want to go, we want to path, what we want to use,
And is
and
he like
then
hard? Sorry to interrupt. Is he like hard dictating how that's going, or is he like more prompting and then like whoever you're executing alt is like kind of giving more of a guideline to the plan?
no, it would pretty much be a hard like he would
Okay.
tell us where we go and we do, and then Paradox would he'd be the co IGL technically. He would say if he doesn't want to do that, or if he has another plan to go through, um, or where he wants the backline to go. Is we mainly had like a, and then me and Drill would target call depending on like who's the major kill threat on the composition we're running.
Hmm.
So if I will vault, like I'll target call, or if I get a grab, I'll target call the grab, mainly like that, and then Spooky didn't really talk much, and then our alt tracker was affecting. So it would just mainly go from alt track, fight plan, mid fight, and then just repeat and repeat, repeat.
Mhm. Okay. Um, so like there like that's fine to do a structure like that. Like that's kind of like a less like democratic structure. It's just like really important that when you do stuff like that, like the majority is not going to be as vocal, but you have to find a way to still command the team without like squashing the less like vocal minority or like majority in your team. I
Good
think
boy.
there's like an argument for how you say like there's a lot of different flavors of comp structure. I think there's like objectively like more good flavors than there are bad, which I'm sure you can agree on too. I think what my if you don't mind, like as just for those that are here, I kind of want to go through like what I like for comms, so you can see what you think of it, and if it's something you want to transition with teams you're doing, you can as well do. Um, is that something that interests you, or do you kind of like not care? It's fine if you don't.
Yeah, no, I honestly didn't like how I think the comp structure can work, but I think it's so like it's just a one sided. We put all of our trust into one person to take
Mhm.
us where we're going and what we're doing.
Yeah. So,
It's not really.
a big thing is I'm gonna go through a call. I'm gonna go through one main fundamental for like just team play in general that I like to bring up then for how this can be essentially how you say done more efficiently. So generally, like I coach under the idea of I want everyone playing as 6 DPS players, like the blue lock mentality, right? Like you have 12 strikers, um, so everyone's still playing their life and they're kind of playing for their own thing, but like jobs essentially like layer into an aspect of how they help each other and build value. So obviously, like support line, you just need to calm like the basic things of like what you need to calm and kind of not more. So, like, obviously, like, support's biggest thing is, like, staying alive and just making sure you're communicating where, like, resource is coming from. Um, and just fucking dogs. Um, so, like, ensuring where resources coming from, especially too for like teams that or people that are here, like, it's so important. Like, you are playing single target healers. Like, resource needs to know where it's coming from, so like you can better enable tempo and control pacing for your team. So that like really means like grabbing your tanks by the balls and just saying like, hey guys, like play slow. Like I'm hard carrying my mag right now. Going into that, like I think main support, flex support is a little um what's the word? I don't think it's like maybe it is as defined now. But before it kind of wasn't. But like your flex support is looking to create opportunities, right? So if that's your invis is always looking at like how can I get a pull to create an opening for my team? How can I cage? Um, and this is where it starts to get into the aspect of like how you guys can calm is like your invis can just go, yo. If they walk in this corner, I'm caging the mag. Okay, like look mag when they walk this corner, and then you hit a cage. Everyone's like looking mag, and you're prompting these windows. Or like if Leave is saying like, okay, guys, if they walk in this corner, I want to look to cage them. And your invis can be like, yeah. And like if you don't have a way to like effectively kill it because you think like their whole team's gonna be in it, then it's like then if you have wool vault and you're like, I'm gonna look for the backline and try to wool vault them and shut down their invis if they match it. It's like that way. So instead of like creating a plan from one person saying, hey, we're going to cage on this corner, they're probably going to match. So like we need to kill invis. And then like Cessna goes like, oh guys, I have wool vault. I'm just going to wool vault the invis out of alt and killer. Okay, cool. Instead of like making plays with each other, you're making plays off of each other in a way that is more democratic that you guys can still kind of all be heard effectively. um, this is more kind of in tune with London Spitfires like comp structure, like going into Owl, where you had like Hottie, Backbone, and Landon making the general calls in the fight, and then like Sparker was like just kind of like calling what angles he's taking, etc., or like what like weakness he's trying to establish, and then Admiral's just calling like how he's tempoing with beats. So like the people that don't really talk as much don't have to talk a lot, but when they are prompted, like, oh yeah, we're gonna hit like a Phoenix, we're gonna mag Phoenix here, and your Phoenix, who may necessarily just pretty be quiet, will just be like, Yeah. Like, look where I am. I'm sitting back here. When they walk, I'm gonna Phoenix all on their back line so that we know like to front to back properly. Because like generally the person that's like executing should be the one like calming, like, okay, how do I want to execute then? Then the team follows into that window. That way, if the fight plan gets fucked up, like you guys don't execute on it properly, you can flame the shit out of the other 5 people on your fucking team because you guidelined the actual window of how you're gonna execute and your team didn't follow to that window, which gives you better ability as well for like better kites because then you can just say like, oh, we're gonna like mag Phoenix combo on the invis alt, and we're like, oh yeah, can we kite this invis alt and then just go back in with Phoenix, and like that's what your Phoenix prompts. Then you guys are like, okay, yeah, we're gonna kite on the invis alt, and you're just constantly prompting that you're gonna be kiting on this invis alt, so that like as soon as you hear the line come out, you're all walking away, and you get like these really clean like engages and disengages like on the snap of a finger. This is something like Dallas Fuel did like a lot during I want to say it was the Reaper Soge meta during Grand Finals. Like they would prompt a lot of their kites and engages that same exact way. And you can even do that with baits of like maybe you have someone on a side angle and you say, yo, when the Venom dives on me, we're all going to go hit that back line because maybe you ult on like Hella per se because you're playing Hella Namor. So then the Venom dives, you pop Hella ult, like you're hitting the back line and your team's just diving on that fucking back line. And it just creates a lot of your plan to be more fluid because not only is your tempo not going to be stagnant into the same plan every single time, but you're gonna have players essentially seeing game winning pieces and speaking up on it and getting you guys to be more proactive. Because then, like, if your support is like, "Oh shit, if we just battery here, we can go quick with Gambit," like he's gonna start saying that more and like dictating. And be like, yeah. If we battery with Gambit here, we can go. And your Starlet's like, yeah, I'm on a good angle. We can go with Gambit Star. Okay, let's battery here. You're battering. I have Gambit. Are we ready? Yes. We pop and then we go. Super clean, super simple, right? Um, I'm a big proponent of like how I like that comp structure. I think it's a lot more giving power to each person to have some vocality in the team and feel effective rather than feeling unheard by their team when they think a certain thing would be better.
Yeah,
I
I
know
mean,
from our comms, we always had an idea of alts to use, and when we were, I'm sorry, what? Hold on, I have to reread this again. I know from our comms, we always had an idea of alts to use when and where, just not actual fight plans planned out. Yeah, and like that's the thing though, is like you don't necessarily even need to have a fight plan. You just need to like say like, guys, this is the combo we're gonna use, and we're gonna use it here. And the guy that's just gonna execute just says how to play around that execution. And it's as simple as that, which kind of gives you a lot more leniency into your like also to like your alt cycling, so that if you do fuck up an alt cycle, you have a way easier way of like relinking it into some combo because the players are actively looking for like their way to create impact and be like the star player on the team. Uh, yeah, I don't know if I explained that confused. I'm sorry, I talk a
no,
lot, so I'm
that was a
so
good explanation.
yeah.
I think honestly, even with that comm structure just existing, I think it gives like a confidence booster to every player
Because they
because they
feel like they
feel
can
more
also,
impactful.
yeah, exactly, right? Which that also too means like even if some people are feeling like down mentally, like there's other players that might be feeling up and they can create that impact and then also empower other players to feel the same way. And it brings like a lot more like mental turnability to going into like especially games like this where you're extremely down and you have no breathing room to lose a map. Also, another like small thing that if you guys are ever like coming out on a fight like this on Ysildrah, if your rocket just throws the res beacon right here and comes out this door, whoever like ints to get cap can die first anyway. So while these guys are getting shoved, if it's like cap per se, your cap gets res and then gets another recontest, so your team can continuously fight for the break out this door.
Hmm.
Only 60 seconds left.
Yeah, this is just very back and forth in terms of like you guys are just getting tempo, and then like neither team is gonna lose it on the attack. Did they cap first off of this overtime run?
Yeah. I went to the Hawkeye because of what they were on in the round before, and then they ran out on full dive.
Down to 30 seconds.
Which I'm almost under the proponent that if you have this comp and Phoenix is available, um, being Rocket over Jeff, of course, I think you should always just run this comp. I think this is still like one of the best comps in the game, but so many people ban at least one or two characters in that composition that makes it like almost unplayable. Or I think people don't know how to break bunker fast enough to warrant playing it enough. Like if I asked you if you're playing against like a group comp, whether if they're playing like Loki triple with Adam or not, how are you guys breaking bunker? Do you know like the most consistent way to do so?
I mean, when we broke bunker, I mean, we ran dive like last
The
season
dive
we
versus
ran
bunker.
dive.
So, um, is what I'm asking where. So that matchup. So if you're playing dive and you're playing into bunker, um, then this in turn will also help you understand how to play bunker into dive. Um, did you guys have like set roles or characters that you're trying to take off, or are you just kind of building CD advantage and going?
Good boy.
No, we really didn't. I mean, on domination, we if they ran a bunker comp and we ran dive, I don't know about convoy or like convergence, but on
Mhm,
domination, we would just kill the person that came to point, like and just force them off point. Like if they just full bunkered inside, like on Hell's Heaven
mhm.
on the pillar map, if they weren't inside that room, we would force one person to point and then just dive the person on point, force them off until we capped the point, and then just stabilize from there.
Mhm. Yeah.
But on convoy, we didn't really have any like plan for a dive
So
into
like
bunker.
bunker busting is like super simple when you look at it, like finally at a fundamental level. It really goes down to the aspects of like maybe the comp that you're playing a little bit in terms of like maybe like DPS matchup or like what your kill potential is. But um how you say? It's pretty rudimentary where you can either kill the main support, which whoever that in triple support that always varies, right? It could be Adam, it could be Loki, but generally whoever forces cohesion on their team, whatever wants them to be a cohesive unit and play for that. So like Adam, for example, if you pick off the Atom, they're going to be kind of a lot more spread out, and they're going to try to pull you into like 1v1s a little bit more because they still have damage to turn the fight, especially if they're playing something like Mantis or like Gambit where they can get like reduced healing and give themselves some breathing room, or just utilize damage boost to like turn a 1v in their favor. Um, so let's say if you are playing a fight that you need to go long, then obviously you just take away their sorry, if you want to fight to go wait, let me think. Sorry. Yeah, if you want to fight to go longer, then like obviously like picking off like their cohesive support going into that is like a lot stronger. But if you want fights to go longer, for your advantage, then you pick off their secondary support and their primary dealer. So they're still cohesive, but they don't have damage to turn fight. And you can actually like flip this around depending on like what their
Good
army
boy.
is coming into. So like if you know they have like a res, then you put a lot of stress into like focusing onto this atom, ensuring that they cannot play for the res, and then you kill him. You're playing slow, um, and you can what should we call it? um you can then like play to deny him, like where he either just like self reses and you just kill him again, or he has to just like cancel it off, and then you can just win the fight afterwards. But if you know they're playing for like let's say a combo with like Mantis damage boost, or like it's a Gambit combo, then you just put extra stress onto the Gambit, and whatever their win condition is, you just focus on whatever side it is, either if it's main support or flex support and primary dealer, and you can always keep them on the back foot from ulting when they have a foothold, so that you can just keep busting them down, that they can never like you'll just always have the HP lead, or you'll always have like a damage lead going into it, or some CD lead, because those characters alone also pull out so many advantages when they're like taken away from the equation. So like if and that goes into like the same aspect if you're playing bunker against dive, like if you're playing like for the atom res, then you have to like really think like how are we buffering our atom like properly or like deterring them from hitting our atom so that we can actually play for that condition. Um and like that's like pretty much the only like thing you need to be thinking about like in that matchup. And you just play everything else like your normal fundamental.
You're halfway there. Keep going.
Um, and like that can either be done with like a combo or that can be done in your neutral. You don't necessarily have to be like always picking that character in the neutral. Because what is it, the Clintar like Dom map? Like a really good example is that that high ground that has like that lower underneath area, got like the bulbous thing with the, like the pillar that goes up and down.
Yeah.
Like a lot of teams like to bunker in that. So it's like, okay, well, if you're gonna bunker into that, then you just need to hit a combo on any of those three characters. Either, flex support, primary dealer, or just kill their main support. So you guys can just sit on point and like just burn them out over time because they don't have the sustain to like keep the fight going, so they'll just lose through attrition. Um this is like another good example of like how you can do it on Dom. But like when you have priority positions on maps like this when you're already like rolling in for an advantage, as long as you're just keeping that triangle on them so you have like direct line access to like make those hits, like you're good. Which I don't know if you're finding any of this like valuable.
No, I am. We like struggled with triple support bunker comps a
Mhm.
lot, and we really didn't know. And we never really reviewed any of it, but we didn't know like the fundamentals of how it worked or how we can live. We struggled with like Adamantis Loki in the past, so
Mhm.
we never actually ran it. We
Vehicle reached its
ended out
destiny. Keep
last
moving.
season a lot until this season we kind of figured out how to break it.
Yeah.
So
But that's like a pretty like hardline fundamental I remember coming from Overwatch that I had just rad do going into like bunker comps and we just were breaking bunker like off cooldown to the point that teams just started matching us on the dive. Um yeah, and then you guys actually like opt to take that rotation one time and they just force it in with the Venom ult. That's so unfortunate.
You're halfway there. Keep
But
going.
that I think that goes down to just like probably a mistrack on the ult.
yeah, our ult tracking was very lackluster. Never really. It
I feel
was
like
like one fight, we'll have
most
an
teams
ult
at
track.
T3 kind of suck at alt tracking entirely. I feel like even some
Yeah.
of the Ignite teams, like at least like earlier, what was that, like 6 months ago when I first started trialing for Ignite, like it was just not, it's just wishy washy. The consistency on like skill and backline right now for NA is just really kind of not there.
The amount of times the rogue grab has messed up my Wolverine ult is actually so annoying. I don't know if you saw that. The
um,
interaction
I
is so
did,
bad.
yeah. The another thing too here is like if you guys were initially like tracking like oh maybe they had Venom or something like that, or you're just opting to take the fight right in front of this door, instead of taking this rotation and trying to drop for here and then like maybe kite back into here or even like try to like squeeze through a shove on this. If you took the initial rotation before the Venom hit, um and you guys just went here instead, this gives you a better direct line because like your back line can either set height or underside. And also too, because your tanks will be playing here more so, it's a direct line. So if they want to contest backline, they actively have to contest the rest of the team. Whereas here, like you're trying to break out and then your supports have to break out at the same time and try to hit a map flip on this. Or like your tanks get out and then they just int onto your back line. Like
Mm.
it's definitely like a better posture that kind of makes them fight more and will hopefully get you to play for like a better HP lead to where they're just going to play with bad aggression and you can
Score
it almost
is
telegraphs like what
4,
combo they want to go
2,
for, which gives like
3.
easier shutdowns.
Time to switch things up, including which side you're
Yeah,
on.
we voted in the past. We voted this map a lot because we would always get stuck on second point,
Hmm.
and we started playing it really well at a certain point, and then I think it's like, I don't know, everyone just lost the basic fundamental of how this map was supposed to be played. Because this was actually one of our best maps. It was this in Central Park that we voted the most, that we liked. It just, and it got way, way better over time, and then it just looks sloppy again.
Hmm. Like, well, every 3 weeks, you usually go through a rut on a team, so
Yeah.
you might have just got caught in that like 3 week phase, like during MRC, which is like the worst time to get caught in it.
They've made it halfway! Stop them!
And another thing too is like you guys can be so much more like another like if you're ever playing against triple tank holds, like if you guys just like put stress into like breaking this and then swing this wide as like a back line and get like wide angles on this point, it usually forces them to either like regress back into here or they go back here, which just enables your Groot so much. But it's also hard too when you're like running Wolf because like you're kind of lacking a like the extra gun that you might want. But like the argument could be made then like your Wolf can just go up here and then like wrap around and like pull someone out when you guys force them to bunker, which sets up like a really really nice pinch.
No chance to stop them!
Yeah, like at this point, like here, it's just the beasts are so disjointed that no condition that they're playing for like happens in a fluid motion. Like one ult happens and then another one comes out. Like I just saw Gambit ult and now they're popping Star Lord ult. And now they're popping like a Venom ult and the Star Lord's inting on someone in the backside while like your Venom's like hitting their core. It's just like in overtime rounds, like the fact you guys were able to clean up your comboing to become like a fluid motion and then the beast like fell on it. Like you guys had such good momentum rolling into the next map. I'm curious, like, did you sub out on the last map or?
No. I don't like the last map was so confusing to me.
Now might be a
I
good
really
time to
don't know
spread
what
out.
was going on because we kept like we would kill 4 and then somehow lose the fight. That was a very weird map. They were playing double melee, fist, and wolf.
Okay, now I want to see this. I'm curious. You got me curious. Like you got me like what?
Our tanks just kept swapping like different. I don't know. We went like thing. I feel like Groot would have been strong. I was I was telling them to go Groot, but I don't know. We just kept swapping.
You just got
I really,
IQ
I
check
think I
last
only had
map
like 2
essentially.
deaths. I don't really know what was going on. Like I had permanent uptime, but nothing was happening.
I got chills down my spine when Bendy subbed out and Cessna came in.
Looks like the mission area is yours to capture now.
Yeah, you got the passive out on Wolf. They can't go in. You pulled Parry out. Like you guys should be walking. Like right now, you guys should just be walking, in my opinion. And the Invis just
I
needs to melee combo, like in between her things, look back on her third melee and push the Venom back. Keep walking. Because like all their sustain from like their DPS side is like gone. This should be
And we
walk
killed
at them
2
with Phoenix.
here, and then I'm pretty sure we actually lose this somehow.
Oh, drill's
I,
gone.
I,
A cage. You guys like out. Hey, you guys move here. They're just playing Loki. Like that's just why like you just lose like off composition because they just get the double invis ult. And like rocket
yeah,
res and amp just don't do anything against double invis ult.
I told Paradox to go Loki. We went in second half.
Oh,
But
this is just this
we just kind of
stagger is
sat around.
painful.
We just kind of sat around and never really walked in anything after our.
Star-Lord's banned. I think honestly, if you guys probably just like instead of forcing the wolf, like make them think that you're gonna play for the wolf mirror because everyone knows you as the wolf guy. Um, I think you guys just play Phoenix like Star-Lord and just play to have your Phoenix mark the Star-Lord or not the Star-Lord, the wolf passive. Will you just mark out Iron Fist and like Phoenix can help you at times like when applicable. But you guys should get like a lot more room and be able to exploit more on their comp. Especially like if you're gonna be running Rocket, like why are you not running Star Lord? Like for the third like
I
iframe.
wanted. I actually didn't want to play Wolf here, but they told me to go Wolf. And so it kind of just happened.
Okay.
Like, I started on Bucky and it was working pretty well.
Hmm.
Team's capture progress.
But
So I could
even
just get
then,
Iron
like
Fist.
why play Bucky when you can just play Star Lord?
Has passed the
Yeah.
halfway point.
Because you're not really playing anything to enable your wolf outside of like the Phoenix like team up and like maybe getting a res, but like that res like doesn't give you passive back, so you're still playing at a disadvantage when you come back. Sorry for coughing in your ear.
They've almost got it.
English.
I think like Thing Emma is probably your best like tank lineup going into this for sure. Like the hardest part about like rivals is there's too many tails that are like almost uncatchable. Because like if you look at Overwatch, generally like a tail is anything that's like an off angle or something you leave behind in like rotations being like a backline. So you have either the option of like forcing the tail back into its team or like cutting the tail off from the team and either hitting the team first or killing that tail. Um, but in this game, things that would generally be stagnant, like in like every support for some factor has like some form of mobility. Like Thing Emma is just so great at getting that grounding and making sure that tails are actually catchable and you can like obtain kills on characters you generally wouldn't get. Rather than like playing to just like deny wolf, which like I'm sure as you know, like it's like way more hard. It's harder to play wolf in a thing when the thing is just killing everything else other than like dealing with you. Because like
Yeah, I
you
don't
can't.
think Wolf actually is like a. I think Wolf's just an alt battery for Wolf, or yeah, I think it's just an alt battery for Wolf.
Mhm.
But he doesn't shut down Wolf himself. He just makes everybody else like
Yeah,
hard. I don't
because
know.
wolf like needs like longer fights to go on to actually like what like get like an actual grab or like get value through the fight. Um, because like you have to hit long flanks, and that's kind of like the beauty too is that if any single time that you guys say like, oh hey, like they only have 2 DPS, and I'm sure we've all been to kindergarten, like if we can count up to 2 at the very least and we don't get and we only see 1, we know that I like wolf is hitting a long angle, especially on a comp like this, like you guys can just walk at them and just take the fight up one.
Yeah.
Rather than like playing to match it. Especially too on like a priority of this, like you could be playing for like a better angle here, but like you're just kind of like sitting here rather than like being over like starting maybe like forward, like maybe you're like, oh, like I could like get a grab here if they, if I have jump pack and I can like knock them up here. But if they end up rotating up here anyways, I can just right click up here, then still grab somebody. If you rotate back and you just make yourself like known somewhat here, and then just kind of like fuck off, like they're gonna be scared of the wolf walking this angle, and it's gonna slow the pacing of their fight down. Or they might try to like flush you out as a full team, which then they expose their back line, which like your thing Emma should just be walking on top of that then. Like it's a super easy setup you could have going into this that gives you like some advantage possibly going into this. But I think this is probably one of the reasons you guys end up just like losing to melee slot here is like they don't really, you guys like win first fight here like on the hold, but yeah, like you just take a really fast fight when you could be dragging this fight longer, essentially. Because especially too, like if they try to flush you out this way, like they start rotating like this way to flush you out, you can just like have your thing run up and you can just have him grab you and just like get sucked over to your thing and be free. You don't have to worry about a force on your passive either. Is you can just like bait take it because then you fly to your thing grabs you, then your thing chucks you onto one of their support just dies, or they can't all, and your team runs in and kills. Insane that Groot doesn't die, but yeah, another part too, like reasons like why you're losing these fights is like you try to then take the fight up here a second time, but then you just don't respect the fact that like you couldn't win the fight and you just kept forcing it down.
You'll have to keep fighting until we have a winner.
Doom has overreached.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's gonna be the same trend going into this one too. So I don't want to like keep talking your ear off or anything, but no, I'm glad you're able to like answer some questions for me. I hope that I gave you some like insight or something in return.
Yeah, no, honestly, I learned a lot from just watching that alone even,
Mm-hmm.
and
Because like I'm
what
not
you
like,
said.
yeah, because like I'm not watching these to like I guess like shit on these teams because I know I'm like if you watch like some of the earlier maps, like I'm fucking like I'm like there's one moment I'm like this is just awful, like this makes me mad to watch, but it's more of just I can take what happened in these and like at least give some constructive criticism to maybe give something that people didn't know, or be like, oh wait, actually like yeah, I can do that and take that to the next team. Especially like after hearing that, because before you guys mentioned that you guys didn't have a coach, I kind of heard a little bit about it, that you guys like just didn't really have anything, which like made it pretty like this. It was just the uphill battle for you guys going into MRC. Because like I knew you guys as like being a better team. And when I saw the beast like thing, I'm like either the beast is like really fucking crazy or Nightmare just like absolutely like choked on the bag.
Yeah, no, I don't,
And it
it's kind of been a
happens. Yeah.
stale point from what I've been seeing. I haven't been playing, so I don't really know. Like I've been watching a few of the scrims, and
Mm.
it's kind of just the same mistakes over and over, and
Yeah,
they're not
and
really going over them. It's kind of just like lost passion. Like a lot of the players just lost passion. I
yeah,
think.
and it happened. Like there's
Yeah,
nothing else to say. Like for not playing the game and coming back for third map and like at least like having a turnaround for your team, like that's good. Like you should feel at least like rewarded or like what's the word, affirmed in like some way, knowing that like you still have like it to a degree. Like I've seen some players come back on breaks and get forced to play and they just like absolutely shit the bed.
yeah. I
So
mean, Is what it is.
Yeah.
It's a tough watch, but
So.
at least I learned something from it now, so that helps.
Mhm. So yeah, if you ever have questions or anything ever, like you can just message me and ask. Like I'm always willing to talk about the game with any player. Like I'm always under the firm
Uh,
belief if everyone understands the same stuff about the game, then like we all get better, which means our ceiling gets higher. Um,
yeah.
so which like I really, really want to happen because I want us to like finally beat EU on a LAN
Yeah,
just one time.
the ceiling right now between the two regions is, or at least
Mhm.
during the grand finals, pretty bad.
Yeah,
They
but
kind of found out the meta a lot faster.
yeah, well, like Virtus Pro and like a lot of those teams are like they'll int scrims. They don't play the stuff they like know all the time for sure. Like they want to learn a lot of stuff because they want to be like as soon as a change happens, they want to be on top of it like instantly. Because if you can find some success in a comp that's just not as favored in the current meta, and you see buffs come around for those characters, then you could just immediately be like, oh well, I know that comp's now even better. Let's try it out. Um, like, oh, like Blade. Like I legitimately think on Central Park first point hold, I think like Blade Mantis like Groot like like DPS Blade is like actually decent on that map. Um,
I'm pretty sure Ego Death ran that against us, and it was like so hard to do anything against.
yeah, because like
I
Blade
think
has
they just
double
ran us
dashes.
over.
He's getting damage boosted, which helps with his life steal. Like Groot's like walling off supports, like ensuring that like we can maintain HP leads. Like you're running like probably like an Emma for like decent grabs, whatnot. You have Res for a decent rotation. You can just run back out with Mantisol. It's so fucking oppressive if like in the right like position on the map. Um, so yeah, but I'm gonna let you go. I get sick of my voice. So I
Yeah.
assume you do too.
It's all good. I'm
All
actually
right.
loving this. Haven't had
All right.
coaching in a while, so
Well, like
I
if
appreciate it, man.
I was like, if you had like VODs that you are like ringing in or something, you want to look over that, we can do that instead. If not, then I'm gonna ask people in stream if they have anything they want me to look over.
I gotta go because I gotta wake up early, but I'm definitely gonna hit you up later sometime because
All
this has
right.
been one of the best coaching experiences I've actually ever had, and it wasn't even for me; it was just for the MRC games. So
Yeah.
I
Like
really appreciate it.
yeah, I'm glad to hear that you got something out of it. That's really good to hear.
Yeah. All right. I'll see you later. Thank you very much, man.
Yeah. Have a good night.
You
All right. What is up, guys? I am back. All right. What are some of the things you think fundamentally we could do more consistent slash lack? I can like actually look at some of your games. If you want to give me like some maps from like scrims, we can look over those instead rather than looking at your MRC games. Because Nightmare said like they didn't play that well and like they were kind of fighting an upper hand battle in that. Um, we can definitely. I think that would probably be more consistent to look at. Am I still on Shiki for the moment? Like, yeah, I'm LFO. I'm just kind of observing everything and figuring out what I want to do and what not to do. So yeah. Holy Sambo, the raid. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it a lot. We've been in mass learning mode today. Um Bacon, do you want to send me like some maps or no? If not, then I'm just gonna take map submissions from like anybody. All right. Well, that's happening. Other people can send in submissions, and I'll look through them as like I get through them. Your PC boomed. I saw that the thing. Yes, it did go through. It did go through. Don't worry. Either belt to ass or close. Just give me the stuff that's close. How was your stream? Do you have a good rank session, Ensemble? You got muted? What did you say? I don't know if you guys know, but Sambo might actually be the most toxic person I've ever met. He actually shot my girlfriend in the Wendy's parking lot and said Mog. A 6-hour ban is or mute is crazy. I just like I feel bad, bro. Like you're muted now. Like what do you do? Like you can't even like express like because I know you're on Venom and you're just back here. Yeah, 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 and like you can't even just like talk about how you're like backshotting the enemy team now because I know you'd be fucking support line on Venom. Um, how does but overall for the people that aren't here, like how are you guys feeling about your MRC placings? I know this season was a little bit of a harder MRC with all the teams that were in there. Kind of curious to hear how everyone felt about their performances. Do you want me to look at draft phase as well, or no? Okay, we'll just like look at like fundamental aspects then. Hmm. So like here right now, like you have like decent position like for this side of point and like the spacing, but you're just kind of like letting them go. Like here, like your Phoenix can be probably like a little bit more aggressive on this position to play to deny anybody on this side. Because even if like the wolf is like looking for a throw down main here, you guys can at least poke this and kind of like deter them from getting this throw off. But overall, like this is just poor from them. Like map space is looking like this, thing moves in, and it just snaps off like a band. So let's take a look here, see how marks go. Like with this comp, like this is just like pretty simple. All you have to really do is just kind of like make sure you're marking out the wolf and just pulling passive. And if passive's gone, just keep him marked so that he's just never able to walk an angle and he has to be thrown in, which is like guaranteed int because your Phoenix gets to throw an E down. Or I say E because it's bound to E on mine. Gets to throw it on a stun and just insta kills on the wolf. Um,
I've got your back.
So like going into this, you probably know that they have like a support lead go, right? So what you could easily do is you guys can like posture forward, like push this thing out and then threaten them to play for like a copy. And if you hear copy, then you guys can all play for a disengage and just prompt that. Especially if you guys are all tracking, you know they're closing up on Loki in these situations. Like it's super easy to just play forward, hear the copy line, and walk away. Um, or if you want to challenge the copy, if you know you're closing up on like a Luna ult, then you can just play for the combo. Yeah, so like I think this is fine. You guys do the same aspect of like kiting on this Loki ult, but again, you're up here and then you kite back and you're staging a fight on point here when you really just don't need to. When you can make your first stage happen all the way up here and get out the initial brunt of CDs and then come back here and like you'll still pop with a later Loki ult in turn to match, but you'll at least be taking this fight off point so that if you do lose, you're probably pulling out like an extra 20%, and then on top of them probably losing the cap, you're gonna squeeze out like another like 8%, right? So you'll walk away with like another 30, giving you like about 60, a little bit over like halfway. Um, but and if you don't have to like worry either because like in this situation, like if you give them a free push and you end up having to give them the flip, then you're losing percent. You maybe like if you give them like 14 to 20%, but you still flip back and ultimately win the fight, like yeah, it's fine, but you could be playing for like better percentage gain.
I am ready to put on a show.
What happened here?
Nothing.
Ah, we just went too far with Phoenix. Like if you guys are gonna be playing for the combo, you guys either need to play to just like combo right then and there or to like walk them in. So like either you guys like play to combo whoever's like closest to point. Um you could like face fuck this wolf. Like it's just but like combo is useless to do. Um like you can let them in more. Like your Phoenix can just like be playing this wall. So like when they walk in and step on point, then your Phoenix pops alt and your Luna's back here and she can run into them. But the issue is that it vision aggro splits. So they either have to look at this Phoenix alt or they have to look forward. And if your team is running on top of that, then you guys are just gonna be consistently landing the combo more.
Good boy.
Thank you for the follow, Cessna. I really do appreciate it. Thank you for all the follows today. I know I haven't been saying thank you at all, but I really do appreciate it. I really, really do.
I am ready to put on a show.
But like you see like how this is constantly one long fight and you're going to be walking away with upwards to like 80% on this when you could have initially played a forward staging up here, wiped here and still gotten about the same percentage and then played this next fight where if you ultimately lost it, you would have been walking away with like a 99 and then you can either play for like a TP fight or whatnot. Thanks for the input for everything head to bed. Yeah, I hope you have a good night. Sweet dreams. Don't let the big buzz bite. But yeah, that I think that one like simple change that if you guys just like kind of plan that a little bit better, you guys could easily just have 99 by this point. Well, not by this point, by like this point, because this is where it would have actually been. Or I guess like over here. You get what I mean. How's your re-engage go here? Like this is good. You see like they're kind of like already taking forward posture and you're saying like, oh hey, how can we change the pacing of like where this fight happened? So we're taking the underside. Um, knowing that they're gonna match, I honestly think you could just hit this TP. Um, they surprisingly actually don't match you. But if a team like took a more aggressive stance to like match you, or like someone's dropping from here, you guys can like hit the TP. If I remember correctly, that's the TP that will go like up here, right? It goes to, if I'm correct, right? This TP goes where? Can someone help me? I don't want to open up the map to figure it out. I forget. Okay. Yeah. So like you guys can like take that and because of that, like it puts your Loki in like a really nice position. Your backline can choose when they want to drop. Like you guys need to like really recognize how you can possibly get like height advantages and abuse it when they like hit rotates like that. Because like they have to use cooldowns to engage and like make that fight happen and you get to choose when it happens. So and your Phoenix is like sitting on its top angle then too, and so like she can like kind of take them, you know, take the engages where she needs to be. But like you guys are opting to like fight this and like hit when you guys have such a free flip here. Like why aren't you guys just playing the flip map and just play for the point flip? Because you guys could point flip here and be getting progress, but instead you're opting to give them what 50% by the time that you guys get a cap here, to potentially win this fight. Because like let's see here, like what combos do you have going into this? Like you have Thing, you're closing up on a Phoenix, and you have Wolf. Like yeah, if you guys just like flip here, you guys can play for a better cap ult later in the fight, or potentially just at that point, would you not just take it from spawn. Like yeah, you could, but the other thing too is like if they've already given you like this free of a rotation and they drop here on you and then you hit this TP, they're sitting in like an infinitely worse spot because they opted to try to hit you here and you're just using the TP to essentially kite the entire fight for free. If they chase on you, then like you're kind of a little bit more in control of the fight because they're TPing into you guys and you have like maybe a little bit of a setup happening. Or if like if they end up like using a support alt, like it's just a little fucked for them, right? This is some new pathing for us. Def good flip here. Yeah. Because like this only would have been justified if the tanks like went to hit you from here and then you guys still completed this and you see backline. Because then you're just hitting their backline for free. But you're like you like the whole point of doing this rotation was to skip the fact that you're trying to fight through their tanks to hit something or get a kill or get some positional advantage on the map. You get a free rotation here, and then you just don't play for that and opt to essentially do the same thing that you would have done in main, which is just run through their entire fucking team to then fail still a Phoenix combo. Which, like, if you guys played for like the same idea we talked about, where like your Phoenix can like chill here, or she just tries to like get into a position where maybe she just like ints into the back because everyone's going here and working this side angle, and she just takes the better angle, and then pops Phoenix ult back here, and then your Luna starts running in with ult. Then you guys just hit a clean combo on their back line. Um, there's a lot of ways you can like abuse that one.
Captured more than half of the mission area. Keep going. Control lost.
I think I'm gonna finish this map, and then I'm going to potentially call it. My eyes are depleting. I might just play ranked, but I don't think y'all are gonna want to watch that. So
Let's keep fighting until we have a winner.
your Phoenix needs to be more like aggressive about like pulling angles when she has the ability to do so. Like she's got good connection through LOS to one of her supports at the very least. She can angle. She could be poking anything but the fucking tanks right now and hitting backline, pulling CD leads. Like if we look here, like at supports, like let's see, Lamps is yet to come out. They still are like heavy on pedals. You could be depleting clones, what have it be.
I am ready to put on a show.
Also, too, like you guys are popping like a Luna combo here, or not combo. You're just popping Luna, and you have like nothing to like combo here. Why don't you guys? Because you have point here. They're punching up here. Just take the aspect of like, okay, we're gonna chill. My Phoenix is gonna be here. My Loki's here. Maybe your thing is like where your cap is like stalling, and then like your thing can like opt to either like help deny this side and like encroach and threaten the back line here. Um, like you guys can give space, kind of like bait them a little bit more to like walk up so your Phoenix has better access to back line, and like actually give yourself breathing room to build out for Phoenix or to build for things, so you can just like thing combo then run in with Luna and wipe if you need to use Luna, or like you can then just like you play for a Phoenix combo and win. Like sometimes you're just like rushing trying to win in these fights that you don't really need to. Like you have more time than you think to play for the combo. Do you know what this middle ban was on the left? I'm assuming it's Emma because no one's running Emma. Like here, you guys are rolling up into a situation that you're closing up on Luna. You're about to have Phoenix. Like this is one of these situations you're talking about. Like couldn't you just hit this? Like yeah, you definitely could. Like if you tracked and you know, like they have Wolf, they have Strange Thing, like all these. why would you ever opt to fight down main here in a situation where they're 70 encroaching and they just need to win one fight? And like you guys aren't even in a situation to either like refute aggression with an alt or even get a combo going. Like, yeah, definitely you probably could have just been on a better character, but also the argument here is that fundamentally you could have played this better, that the composition didn't matter. Like it's the aspect of like your fundamentals should matter more. And yeah, yeah, you could be on Emma or group. I think you just be on Emma over the group. Because then your diamond form at least is like threatening wolf and stuff or pathing loss. Yes, exactly. Pathing here lost the game 100%. Whereas if we just hit this PP and we just flip map and we get to get our Phoenix combo, we get Thing, we get fucking Cap, all these ults. You guys could have, yeah. Yeah, like this is already lost. It's not turning back.
I have many faces.
So like here, okay, well one, you guys just don't have your combo anymore, but in a neutral or if you had combos here, all you guys need to do here is just literally count and say, oh, they only have one DPS. Their wolf is on a flank. And then you just go and hit them first. If you have like a Luna combo or like Rock Phoenix combo here, stuff like that, like, it's just an instant win for the fight, and then you don't have to, you get priority after the first fight. Like this is kind of the situation of like what we were talking about in your guys' match, where you're just like using alts one after another, and there's just nothing being comboed. Like when like if you pop Luna and there's a fiend and you're, let's say, Phoenix alting or your Thing alting, if you guys are gonna hit the back line and that's the call that you guys are gonna run to hit, I'll answer that question in a second. You guys need to make sure it's a fluid motion. The execution and moving in need to happen. But like when you're practicing that, you can't like just like run it down and say, like, guys, we're just gonna make this a fluid motion every time. Like you need to practice your steps of like, okay, we need to make sure that we're actually going in, and then like once we see that we're in, then like our Luna pops combo onto our Phoenix or whatever version of who pops to what alt comes out first is easier for you guys. So you guys can then be like, okay, we got the motion, let's hit execute now. Um, and then try to start pairing those in time with each other. Do you think we still opt to aggressive approach it to force it? Like in that situation, they already walked on you guys with like an alt and you had nothing to respond. Um, you just need, I think you guys just take the fight L and don't use any alts and just live for as long as you can without alts and keep trying to get them to alt and then move back in with an eco advantage on the Dom.
Ready to put on a show.
Or not on the Dom, on the next fight.
We are undefeatable.
You commit copy here. Oh, and you guys like, yeah, so here, like I just don't think like utilizing the Thing alt and then like the Luna alt were value. Like here, if I was talking about this like in the ideal, like, okay, you guys are fighting this, you're fighting back, you're living, and like watch HP bars here, right? You guys are living so well. Why are we popping Luna alt here when our Luna can just kite back? Like, do we have clap on Luna here? Okay, we don't, but we do have Loki as well. You all were pretty healthy. Like, if you guys just kept kiting backwards here, like you guys just live this and you don't have to use anything. And then you just walk and you just keep walking at, and then you walk back at them and like you pop like a Thing combo here and then you kill people. Or they walk away and you can just play for the Gene combo. So You guys hit Phoenix combo and like gotta land the Mantis. There you go. Kind of watching the outcome of how this is gonna go. Yeah, like look at this. You use so many alts to just inevitably lose fight anyways. And like, yeah, you might have somewhat of an advantage coming in because you're coming up on Emma, you're coming up on Thing, coming up on Luna. But like you have nothing to combo here and you have nothing to combo here. So you guys are just gonna have to play for Emma and like either Emma Luna it and just run on top of them so they can't LOS the Emma. Or like and like even if you did do that, they're closing up on Thing where they can just Thing ult on top of you guys when you Emma ult and just shut down your engage. And they're closing up on Strange. They get good shut down into whatever ult like they have good call and responses to your support ults that stop you from at least using half of it proactively. Rather than just like playing a better fight and just hitting combos. Like it feels so cornball at like T3 to be like, just hit the combo, just play for the combo. But like honestly, like I feel like 90% of the time it's either like the fundamental aspects of like what's hard grinded to a hero shooter, which is either like, okay, you're not like taking an angle or like you're not I just approve that and that's gonna show up now. But like you're not opting to, like take an angle, you're not opting to like, you know, strong side, weak side parallel, you're not like actively like thinking about how you can change the pacing of these fights or like hit the combo, which like 90% of the time that's going to be like what you guys need to focus on. Like outside of that, like if you guys are fundamentally playing that, then you can start like looking at like the minor aspects of going like, oh hey, like are my DPS like marking the right characters? But it's just right now it's just very sloppy. Dude, the desync on that wolf grab is crazy. Yeah, because you have nothing to really combo for. You're just like kind of dry fighting this out, and like they don't really have to use anything, and it goes back to another like heavy alt dump fight that inevitably looks like here it's gonna cuck you because you're gonna use so many ults that you don't have anything to stop anything here. I don't understand like the wolf pick. Like I just feel like there's so many different characters I'd pick over wolf, but like based off bans, I think a lot of people are like mind controlled to say like, oh, I should play wolf here. And because like a lot of people are like so mind controlled on that, like low key, like just play Moon Knight into their fucking comp, bro. Like play Moon Knight Phoenix. What the fuck are they gonna do? Like they're perma stacked on each other. You're just gonna alt battery off that. Like the wolf is gonna be like getting his passive perma proc. He's either taking damage from the Moon Knight on top of Phoenix also hitting him. Like that shit should never be up. Like what's another character like in these situations that like is just as good? Like I can't think of like the full roster of characters. Marvel rival heroes. God, this feels so noob that I'm actually like looking at all the fucking heroes. That's not what I wanted to see. Just show me like all of them. Like even like Hawkeye. Like I think Hawkeye would be just as good into this. Like one, like if everyone's shooting a Hawkeye and you headshot the Thing, he dies in like 2 shots. It's fucking disgusting. Um, like you guys could play Psylocke in this situation because you know, like Star Lord's not playable. You can play. You could still play technically like play Bucky if you want to play Bucky. there's just better options than Wolf in my opinion, especially on like open maps like this. Like, yeah, we get a combo off here, but like, look, we expend our entire economy to win this fight. So here, all you really need to think about, this is like the beauty about hit scan characters. So the difference is between like hit scan and flex DPS characters is hit scans can only actively pressure what they can see, right? Whereas like other characters generally have like mobility and can like do the opposite. Obviously, like Wolf's kind of like an exception to like that rule, or most melee characters are. Um, but like Namor can be like priest firing into like a choke. Fuck it, you know, Moon Knight can be like hitting people around corners, what have it be. So all you have to think about is where does this Phoenix want to posture herself, and then you guys can just like essentially jump on that almost every single time. So like here, like look, you have your core is starting to rotate here, and you're prompting your strong side here when their strong side is here, and this is weak versus weak when this is like terrible. You don't want to do this. Um, you want to like parallel these angles. So if like weak is here, you want your strong side to be here, and then you want like your weak side to like kind of be over here. He doesn't have to necessarily like be this close, but he needs to be like paralleling the angle to some degree. Because once one of these gets like shot out the window, like this Phoenix, like people are gonna like readjust to like help this Phoenix, and they're like, oh shit, all their tanks are over here, or they're gonna hard commit for this. You just kill the Phoenix off, and then your Phoenix is like either over here or somewhere on the map, and then your core is walking up, right? And you have your strong side here. Well, when they drop, like you just have a triangle, and you can play for CD trades and HP trades all day long. Um, Whereas like opting to like try to like meet this rotation or be on like the same side as this rotation just isn't great, because like you're like letting them have this angle. Like if Melophobia was like thinking here properly, Melophobia is just gonna re-walk this angle, poke your fucking wolf, poke this guy, absolutely burn the shit out of your thing, and you guys have to recompensate for this angle because you just put yourselves in this position that you're the peak of the triangle and they're not. So yeah, see, now Melophobia is just gonna take this angle and just poke the shit out of your team. Your whole team's moving back, and no one can play for this thing. And if this team, like they're all gonna want to dog fuck these people. They contest you, backside as well. They get map control, hit your back line. Yeah, it's a wrap from here. Like you guys don't. So like, how do I bring this up? So like, do you understand what I mean by like strong side, weak side, and paralleling the angle off that like kind of explanation? I can put it into like a custom game and like be a little bit more. Oh, I guess like I can't really. Let me pull up some random code here, for example. Just so I can get like a map. Where's Burning T'Challa? I'll just use that as an example. This is the convoy. It needs to be the convoy. So like this is not the map I want it to be. I'm looking for Hall of Jolly, not Burning T'Challa. What am I saying? That's something that like just kind of happens through like repetition of time and just like playing the game more and like watching stuff back. You'll just start to envelop that idea. You just need to look at it a lot more like as a team and understand like how that rotation happens. Um, you really just have to experiment with it. No, you just say, did I actually just pin a message? Wow, I did. Sorry. How do I get rid of that? Unpin. Um, no, it's not necessarily like Phoenix is a lone killer. You just need to like identify as like tanks. You need to know like, oh, the Phoenix is gonna want to like take right side, or like if you see they're all going left, you should instinctively know that on a map that open, the Phoenix is going to want to posture there because she can just hold the angle, and no one can like really deal with her. And especially too when you're sitting on like a far corner, like in your posture on that far right corner, like if they see you up there and they're like denying your Phoenix or like you guys are trying to kill her, like they might readjust and just try to match it and push you guys out on the rotation. Um, if they know inevitably that taking that left side rotation is bad for them, for the way that you actually posture, then like they're just gonna rotate and meet it. And like if you're playing Gambit, then you could just like pop Gambit and you go past their tank line, right? You subvert it and just shut them down from there. Yeah, just identifying the lane she wants to take. Like I said, right? I'll bring it back up one more time. I'm gonna use this example once more. I brought up the tic-tac-toe concept with Cessna. And you could use this pretty much anytime that you're reviewing like anything. Like in this map, you hold on, let me get it to load. There we go. Okay. So if you guys are postured and you guys are winning this fight, then you should be able to say, like, okay, guys, like where is the kill box? Where do we want to make it? Um in this fight, ideally with the way that you want to posture, you want to try to make the kill box happen out here. So we're just gonna make this 3 lanes, or the 6 lane concept. And we know that we just want to work this outside. We can have our whole core sit here. Our Phoenix can start forward and be poking up here, somewhere up here, and she can regress and give up space. And as they either flush out this Phoenix, and if the Phoenix wants to like drop and like get caught by our team, maybe like double back through here, try to bait them to like walk into this area, you definitely can do that. And if they take that, then you just go, oh shit. Well, I'm gonna pop Phoenix ult. We're gonna run into their back line with Luna and then hit the combo and end the fight. And you're taking first tempo on them. Um, but if you have your Phoenix play forward like first tempo here, and what I mean by first tempo is essentially like it's the first person to make the engage happen. It's where all the vision's going to be kind of looked at. So if they're like looking at this Phoenix and dealing with this Phoenix in the side angle, and they start to kind of like maybe get brainwashed and like walk down main, then like they're walking into your kill box and they're not actively thinking about it. Because like a lot of teams, like their Phoenix will just posture inside their team. So I see a lot of lower ended teams just kind of opt to like rotate away from the Phoenix. Or like if they think like you have Phoenix combo, they'll rotate away because they want to create distance so that the Phoenix has to close distance on you so they get time to burn the either the Phoenix away and kill her, or if she's far enough away, they get to just kill Phoenix all for free. Um but then like at least your team is like ready to hit, and if they start walking up here and your team still wants to go for a Phoenix play, at least your team's postured here in a way that they can just walk across here, hit this, pop Luna ult while you Phoenix ult to live, and then you just play a Phoenix combo right here. But the point is that like this is the angle and this is the angle, right? And this is the connection. You guys are making them the peak of the triangle so you can actually pull the brunt of those CDs away. You just need to understand like who's angling in the mid fight and pre-fight so that you can always like maintain an angle on them at all times. You can have an angle here and an angle here, especially if you have someone better than like if you're, let's say, running like Star Phoenix, like your Phoenix can be here and your Star can be here. Your Star starting off as an angle in the pre-fight, and then like in the mid-fight, as you guys kind of like hit the aggression on them, then maybe your Phoenix takes up this angle or walks this angle faster, and then is the angle in the mid-fight. So that there's always an angle happening that they have to deal with, which is also in turn like pulling CD leads exponentially faster for you guys as like a team. I hope that gives like a better idea. I'm getting super fucking tired. I'm actually going to stop here. I want to keep looking at things. I really, really do, but I am just so tired. Thank you to everyone that's tuned in. I'm definitely planning on doing this a lot more because I have a lot of fun helping people. Um, so yeah. I hope you all have a good night. I'm gonna see if we can. Let's see if we can raid anybody. Um, who's in the rivals tab right now that we can send over to? Let's go low. Or who? Anybody know anybody in the scene right now that's sleeping or not sleeping, that's streaming that we can just send over to? Um, Actually, we'll just give it to Wub. How do I do this? Can someone help me? Is it this? I'm struggling, guys. I'm struggling. um, manage stream. Got it. Raid channel. There we go. I figured it out, guys. All right, we're gonna move over to Wub stream. All right, I hope you all have a great night. I'm gonna end it there.